Hello, and we are live after a 2 week hiatus. We are back, and this is the return of the Sausage Factory. How are you guys doing? I'm your old buddy Pizzal. Joining me tonight, I've got Jay the Stingray. What's up, Stingray?
Ooh, I got introduced first. I wasn't ready for that.
What
What's going on, guys?
are we drinking tonight, there, Jay?
Man, this is a. I should have known you were going to ask me that. It's like a guy's name. It's like the Pike something blend. I forget, but
Okay,
something new I saw at Walmart, and it's pretty good.
okay,
Nice dark roast, smooth.
okay. Very good, very good. Now I don't know if I've asked you this or not. Do you put sugar and cream and crap in your coffee? Or you just take it. You just like it
Just
black.
just black.
See, I like my coffee like I like my women, bitter and black. You know what I mean? So that's just how I roll, man.
Sure, sure.
And somewhere there is Orc. Orc, are you okay? Have you fallen and you can't get up? Orc, I think we've lost Orc. We've lost Orc, guys. I'm sorry. But this might be it tonight, guys. I think Cole may drop in at some point, but he is watching hockey, I do believe. There's Orc. Okay, Orc, are you all right?
I'm right, fam.
Okay.
I was on the phone and I had to tell satellite internet I wanted to keep them, and they said, "Okay, thank you for your business, sir." And I said, "All right, cool."
Did,
So
did,
now
did you
I
stay? Did you stay on the line to fill out the survey?
I always leave good feedback surveys,
Good,
like when
good,
I'm on
good.
customer service, because I want John, whose real name is Ahmed, to get that raise. If I can understand anything they're saying and they weren't born here, dude, and I'm the most patient person on customer service. Oh my god, if WoW servers go down, I'll wait for 4 hours. Fuck. And then I'll get Ahmed. And if he knows what's up, he's like, dude, I understand why you can't fucking use your teleportation to this city and just give me 30 minutes and I'll fix your account. That's insta. Like I don't even leave. I don't just rate him by stars. I'll give him like a great review. I'm like, give this guy a raise. The rest of your company sucks. Bye. It's like send it in.
Wow.
You know?
Well, you're you know what I'm like. Sure, I'll stay on the line for that little that little survey, and then as soon as they're done, I just hang up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or sometimes I'll just leave them negative feedback just to be they cursed at me. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Internet and phone companies are the best though because I'm like, you know, with phones, I'm like, okay, so like I don't have a plan, and this is how much you're fucking charging me. This is why people in big cities switch to fucking Metro. You guys suck ass. Tell your boss of your boss, who owns the whole company, that he fucking sucks dick. And then I just hang up the phone. I'm like,
Nice,
all right, cool.
nice, nice.
Like John, you're doing a great job. I enjoyed talking to you today, but all of your bosses suck ass. Like them. Yeah.
I actually got a phone call. You know the scammers who'll call you and be like, "Hi, this is John. I'm calling from Windows.
Yeah.
You have got a virus on your computer." And somebody I got one of those calls one night, and I just went, "Oh God!" And I just hung up immediately. The phone rang again. I pick up the phone. It's the same guy. F.U.
Yeah, yeah.
Death to America, Hell King Osama, just all this. Of course, I mean, I was saying things to him that I won't repeat here, but it was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty ballsy for a scammer to like call you back and like rage at you for hanging up on him. So it was
You
an it
didn't
was an
believe in my scam? Fuck you, Piz. God damn it.
it
Now I
was
can't
an
reach all of your accounts.
it was an interesting callback. Yeah. So I just remember him. It was like Death to America, Hell King Osama. Um, just yeah, it was yeah.
Yeah, I knew someone that fell for that scam. It's like, so you think that like Microsoft is going to call you and say that you have a virus on your computer? Like
I know I
that's
know
that's so stupid.
I know more than one person who's fell for that. Older people
Hmm.
who don't quite understand it. I was actually uh, for my work. I go into people's homes, And I just walked into a woman's home, and she was like, "Honey, give me a minute. They've called me from Windows. I've got a virus on my computer." And I went, "Hang up, hang up, hang up, hang up. That's a scam. Hang up the phone." So she hung up. I'd caught her. She was literally digging in her purse to get her credit card out. So I caught her just in time.
Another big one we've been dealing with is they're acting like they're the IRS. Like, and you owe us a lot of money.
And they called.
Then they call me. They're like, "What the fuck did you do wrong?" I'm like,
yeah. It's like, he's like, "Hello, my name is Stephen Smith. I'm calling from the Internal Revenue Service of the United States." You know what I mean? It's like, dude, no, you're not. Yeah. Good fun times. Good fun times. But yeah. Anyway, we've been off the air for 2 whole weeks. How have you guys been? Have you seen any good movies in that time? Orc, I'll start with you. How are you? How's the health holding up? What have you been into?
Oh, we took a minor step back, so maybe 2019 might be my year. I'm sure we can dive into Cobra Kai. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna watch the pilot, and that's it. True Orc fashion. I know Jay's watched all of it, so I want to hear what he has to say. Spoiler free for all of our TSF fans. And then no, nothing really. I don't know. I just I'm excited for summer and like not having like a fucking like a $3,000 propane bill every month. That's nice. But I'm just waiting till Venom and Halloween come out. Really, people are like, what are your favorite summer movies you want to watch like on like streams? And I'm just like,
what if you're unable to sit by the end? What are you going to do? Are you just going to like stand like
I will stand for Halloween, and I'll wait for Venom to come out on Blu-ray.
Is there an area in the theater where you can stand?
I don't know, but if I have to, I'll go all the way up to the we're having fun and I'm really not jerking you off, row, the last row, and I'll literally just stand in front of a seat. That's my plan. I'll just stand the whole time.
Okay.
And then if I gotta stretch, I'll go into like the side where you think someone's gonna pull like a Dark Knight, like on the side where you walk in on the theater, and I'll just stand there. I'm not missing Halloween. It's this could be the fact that Halloween might surpass Friday the 13th in terms of like franchise films and who has the most is just the saddest thing of all time. And the last Friday the 13th came out basically 10 years ago. Yeah. Like how sad. Just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Like what?
And the more I hear about it, the lower my expectations get too. It's I don't know.
I've tried to avoid everything, what people are saying about that whatever that trailer was that they showed at that whatever it was. I don't know. That was it a convention or I don't even know what it was.
A film festival thing, whatever it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I wish they'd just go ahead and drop the trailer. I actually heard people talking on Twitter today about that the Halloween movie, they were going to go and do some reshoots. So of course everybody's going, "Oh, it sucks. We're screwed." You know what I mean? Oh God, I had hopes for this one. So, but I mean, it's like, just about every movie goes through reshoots. It's not that big a deal. If it's unless they're pulling like an Avengers or not an Avengers, but a Justice League where we're like going to reshoot 45% of the movie and with like a different director, then you've got problems. You know what I mean? So
like the thing with me and trailers or like, maybe someone will send me like a link of a movie, then someone like, watched it in a theater or something. If it's like really, really shitty quality, which like 90% of the time it is, whether it's in the theater or it's like a trailer that's coming out in Comic-Con in a few months, I'll just be like, all right, fuck this. You guys want to queue in Overwatch? Because I'm about to queue. Like, I'm not watching this shit. This is retarded. This is stupid. Like, I'll just wait for the official trailer to come out. It's like a waste of time.
Well, on that note, the Predator teaser dropped today.
Yep. I saw that. Let me mention something real quick. Pierce Nightshade in the chat said that he heard people were complaining about the ending of the new Halloween at test screenings. They haven't done it. That was complete BS. There have been no test screenings for the movie. That turned out to be total BS. So that whole thing was just not true. But anyway, yeah, I did see the Predator teaser trailer. I mean, I really didn't draw very much from it. I mean, it was a teaser. It teased us. I don't know if it didn't really necessarily hype me up for the movie or anything, but yeah, you didn't really see a whole lot of what was kind of. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like a bunch of random stuff thrown together. So it didn't really hype me for the movie. What do you think, Stingray?
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch any of that. I'm
I mean-
done. I'm done with teasers and trailers.
Yeah, that one's not gonna spoil anything. I mean,
Okay.
like I said,
But he likes to get teased by something else that's local to him where he lives. He likes other teasers, you know.
I don't know what you're going for, but
I don't know.
No, go for it.
That sounded like an inside joke that Jay's apparently not on the inside. So,
But the only good thing I've seen is that for season 3 of Stranger Things, they had like where they had all their meetings and shit, and like this big ass like boardroom, and they had like all the people who are going to be in the next season. Somehow Jake Busey, I don't know whose dick he sucked, but he's going to be in season 3, so that's amazing. He's in that. If you look on Netflix's channel, yeah. So.
he's a genuine talent. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
I really don't dislike him, but he really does some shit movies.
Yeah, he doesn't have his dad's teeth. That's what I dislike about him. I want the teeth back. I want that smile. Like I can't even try. If I brush with the best crest like 3 times a day, I can't even get that shit. And my teeth are crooked as fuck. Look,
You've got to no. You have had to have had sustained a serious head injury to get that kind of smile, to get the Busey smile. Once you sustain a serious head injury, then you can smile like that.
But I mean, I don't even care what other movies, Gary Busey has done. Like, yeah, okay, Silver Bullets, all right, let's be real here. But once you're in Under Siege, I mean, and you got Steven Seagal going after you, and you're dressing up and you're cross-dressing, I mean, that's when you know you've made it in Hollywood. And that's all you need in life.
This is true. This is very, very true.
Yeah. Emily Lee Jones is your right-hand man, and you're taking over a fucking U.S. fucking naval ship? That's the dream. And then I guess it just goes all downhill from there, like Steven Seagal. Like I'm glad Rambo's still alive, and I guess every movie has a sponsor, whether it's like Nike or McDonald's or straight to video. So it's.
I got an email about a movie that stars Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal.
Ooh.
Oh, is that the China one?
I don't know. I read the subject line and I was like, what is that? Can happen.
There's a movie that has
Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal. I don't know what reality we've stepped into, but that's happened apparently. And Cole's joined us. Cole, how are you?
It's been a long time since I've been on camera or anything like that, because Jay and I wound up taking some time off our show too. Partially because back in April, so I don't know, something happened to my voice, but I don't think it's fixed, but I don't know. I'm fine, I guess. It's weird. I can still talk and everything. It's just I can't seem to sing properly.
Well, I can sing for you, Cole. Orcs 90s throwback, early 2000s. It's been a while since Cole could connect to Hangouts Live. And it's been
I was
a while.
trying to rest the voice, but I don't know. Whatever this is, I'll have to look into it.
Unless you're going to sing Limp Bizkit, we don't want to hear it.
It's just one of those days where your internet sucks. You don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify eating chicken and rubbing peel-offs.
That's the stuff.
There you go. That's living right there.
That I've been missing.
Well,
keep rolling. Come on, rolling.
See, now you can't get them to stop.
I know. Yeah, we've created a monster. I think that's what I'm gonna get Orc for his birthday is a red Yankees cap. So,
Go Yankees. I guess.
Stingray, how have you been, man? Have you seen any good movies since we last hung out here?
Yeah, I've been busy. Let's see. Of course, I don't have my list in front of me at the moment. Last night I saw Bad Samaritan. I don't know if you've heard anything about that one yet.
I have. As a matter
of fact, my theater, but I don't know what it is.
It's just like a pretty straightforward thriller. It has Doctor Who in it, David Tennant. which is kind of
I
interesting.
was gonna say, oh, that there's so many Doctor Who's, but yeah,
But he was Doctor Who for quite a while, is what I
yeah,
was saying.
yeah.
I was asked about that movie and a movie called Ghost Stories today, like if I'd seen them or heard anything about them, and I've heard of both of them, but not anything really about them. So, but you say Bad Samaritan's worth checking out?
Sure, yeah, this is a good movie.
Cool, cool.
I saw My Friend Dahmer, which I know you recommended, Piz.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I was very underwhelmed by that one, but
Oh,
I was just kind of surprised at the way they went with it. I was expecting something that would actually involve like a serial killer. It felt like I don't know, like that movie Boyhood or some shit. It was just not.
What period does it cover? Like how?
it covers Dahmer, sort of the high school Dahmer. It's from the perspective of a guy who was actually Dahmer's friend in school,
Right.
and how he sort of recognized, that there was something kind of not quite there.
Yeah.
He
Well, Dahmer killed like what, one person when he was like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And then he didn't kill anybody for a long time before he started up like his spree or whatever.
The movie kind of builds toward that first kill, but I mean, we don't see it or anything, but we see, so.
I actually had to Google that to figure out that's what that was.
Yeah.
Kind of assumed it was, but it's just, I don't know. It's just like this dude having fun with his friends in high school, and that's really not what I was expecting from a movie about a serial killer.
Yeah,
that's the only. I mean, it's a very well made movie and everything. It just was not tonally what I was expecting.
Yeah,
I guess if he'd killed more people in high school, you could have been more entertained.
Well, it's almost like something I didn't want to see. It's worth maybe a paragraph on Wikipedia, but not an hour and a half of my life I want to spend watching it.
Have you seen anything else?
Let's see. I've seen, because I wasn't on the Friday the 13th Part 7 show. Saw Truth or Dare, the Blumhouse.
Oh, okay. Your thoughts on that one?
It's okay. That's a perfect example of, you can watch a trailer and.
The trailer actually upset me. I didn't like any of the characters just from the trailer, because I was just like, I know you can't usually do that with movies, but I was like, yeah, this is probably an accurate representation.
I mean, it basically shows all the characters' deaths in the trailer.
Jesus.
So,
Okay.
and saw Ready Player One.
That's still playing at my big theater, but I have no plans to see it.
I'm sure you guys have probably already talked about all that stuff, though. There was a really good movie I saw on Shudder called Mon Mon Monsters. It's a, I believe, Korean film. Really enjoyed that one.
Mon Mon Monsters.
Or three Mons. Mon Monsters.
Okay.
It's kind of a stupid name, but pretty interesting film.
Did anybody see Wolves at the Door? Because that's one that I just recently was looking at and thinking about watching, if anybody knows it. It's about... it's set in 1969. I don't know. I think it's one of those like home invasion type things. I think it's sort of inspired by the Tate murders or whatever. But yeah, okay. I like, it's not about that, but I mean, I think it's supposed to have that same feel or something. It's called Wolves at the Door. It's on my TMN Go account. I was thinking about watching it. It's really short. I think it's like 75 minutes long. So I was thinking about giving it a watch. Just some sort of home invasion thriller type thing or something.
That's a 4.5 on IMDb.
That's not. That doesn't inspire confidence.
But that's not always a good indicator.
No, not always. We'll see. No, because I was just like, there weren't too many. I was thinking about thrillers, and they only have so many, and that was one that caught my eye just from the title and stuff. But I don't know. Watched Split again not too long ago, and I still don't like it. I still don't like a single movie that Shyamalan has made.
Oh man,
none of them. Like, I know for most people it's fashionable to say, oh, he sucks now, but he had some good movies in the past. But I don't like any of them. I can't think of a one that I like.
I'm critical of his stuff too. Like, even back in the day when everybody loved him, I was just kind of like, meh.
I think he's had some good ideas, but I don't think they've translated into good movies.
Yeah, like I remember walking out of the Sixth Sense going like, "Oh man, God, that sucked,"
Mm-hmm.
and like turning around and noticing that everybody else
That was the big phenomenon. Yeah, that's where everybody loved it.
Oh God, like wiping tears away, and I was like, "What was that?"
See, I knew the whole ending before I saw the film. Was kind of my problem.
Mine too. I didn't see that movie for like 4 years. It was all down by the time.
You had already seen the parody movies by then.
Yeah.
I don't mind Signs.
I really liked Signs when I first saw it. I saw it in the theater in 2002, and I really enjoyed it. But then, like, repeated viewings, or just showed just how truly stupid it is. Like all the dumb plot holes and all the. And as usual, like it's just a staple of his movies that he has no idea how to write dialogue. Like, people talk like aliens in his movies. They sound like there's something mentally wrong with them. Like, I can't stand the conversations people have in his movies. None of it sounds natural in the slightest. And that is one constant in all his movies.
I remember liking The Village right up into the big reveal. And I remember liking Unbreakable, but I don't remember a thing about it now.
Unbreakable is the big one that everybody, like, defends and says, well, that's a really good movie and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's surprised that I didn't like it, but I saw that in theaters and I hated every fucking second of it. The only thing I like about it is that it has obviously it's a bit of a tribute to comic books, and there's a great part where like this guy is gonna try to like buy some like really expensive comic book art from Samuel Jackson's character, and he's like, "Oh, this will be great for my son." He's like, "How old is your son?" He's like, "Well, he's 4." I mean, Samuel Jackson's like, "Get the fuck out of here," and like kicks him out because he won't sell him the art because he doesn't respect it. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, comics.
Can I get a real talk?
What's up?
Oh, I know something you do like, Cole. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so rocking it.
Coke Brothers, old people. Cheers, Cole. We're old as fuck.
We are? It's an old thing to drink Coke? Young people don't drink Coke?
No. Like the meme, remember the meme you told me? Like Pepsi, only old people drink Coke? Remember?
Yeah. I mean, I was feeling really old. I just turned 35, and I'm feeling old because this is a tangent. Sorry, this is the kind of episode we're doing anyway. So I don't watch a lot of shows, but a show I used to watch that I liked, or I thought was cool for its quirkiness, was a show called Community, and I enjoyed that for several seasons. I lost track of it in like the 4th or 5th season, but I did like it. I thought it was creative. They did different things. They had an episode that was all like video game 8-bit graphics. They had one with like Muppets. They did some weird, interesting stuff in it, and I like the characters. And anyway, so Donald Glover, I guess that's how he started. He's the black guy on the show, and I know a few years ago, I don't think he was famous. He sort of became famous because some people on Twitter said something about him being Spider-Man. He was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And they started that whole thing, right? It's like, why can't a black guy be Spider-Man? Blah, 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 and everybody's freaking out. And then it was kind of funny when they made the new Spider-Man. He's actually in that movie, but like as a criminal. But like, I guess he's just like has a rap career now or something. And I've just been trying to wrap my head around. I'm watching, and they're not songs. This is where I'm starting to feel old, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't even see it as like music. It's just sort of him sort of mumbling and talking over. It's not even like a hip hop beat. I don't even know what it is. And like these are like getting trillions of views, and people are just saying like losing their shit in the comments. They're just like mesmerizing her. He's so cool. And then one of them, I think the more famous one right now, what is it? This Is America. He's doing like this dance, which is fine. People dance in videos. I mean, I can rag on any video for dancing because I'm just like, oh, dancing's stupid. But I just mean, that's fine. It's that he has this ridiculous grin on his face while he's doing it. He looks like he's insane. And I don't understand it at all. You guys should really watch This Is America.
I've watched it many times.
Yeah, I've watched it a bunch of times because I'm fascinated, but then that I don't understand any of it. And I was just like, there's no song in there. And I know I'm an old guy now. I don't relate to the kids or the music because I can't find the music. I feel like what the parents were saying in the early 90s when they were talking about the gangster rap and they couldn't find the hook there. They're like, where's the tune? Where's the melody? That's how I feel with this. I'm just like, what the fuck? So that's my thing. Like, I guess I'm happy for Donald Glover's success. I mean, it's great now. Now he's like Lando Calrissian too. And apparently he can just do whatever he wants. He's a comedian. He's a rapper, I guess. He hosts SNL. And I mean, that's all fine. That's great.
He like created, wrote, and stars in that show Atlanta, which has gotten tons of critical acclaim and won a bunch of awards too.
Don't even know that one.
It's like his show, top to bottom, and people love it.
But the last 2 days, I've just been watching the Childish Gambino videos. There's like a few of them on YouTube, and I'm just flabbergasted.
I had no idea who the guy was until the whole "This Is America" thing, and then now I'm like realizing, okay, so this guy's an actor, he's a comedian, he's the new Lando Calrissian, and he does this Childish Gambino thing, and like he's like super successful in all arenas. You know what I mean?
Talented as hell, man. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's certainly talented. I enjoy him and stuff.
I really like that song. I really like that song. I really like that song.
I don't know. I can't even see it as a song. It just seems
there's something about that video too that's just, you know, like you said, it's mesmerizing because he's, you know,
it's one of those all-in-one take videos, or at least
there's
look that way. So
yeah,
those are always.
There's like so much stuff going on in the video behind him, and he's shooting people, and he's dancing, and he's very happy, and
yeah,
you know
like, but it's just the grin on his face is disturbing. Like, he's obviously going for something here, and I assume he's talking about violence in America. That's one of the things, right? Like, America's a violent place, and stuff. I get that. I don't know. It seems like an odd way, but anyway, that's me, I guess, being old and not understanding the kids, even though Glover is only a few months younger than me. We're both we're born in the same year.
Real quick, it's kind of like what Jacob McCollum was saying in the chat. He pretty much is the reason why Community is so good. Is because of Donald Glover, and he left the show.
Writing?
No, his performance. Like well, I mean, it's a great ensemble, but I think
he was never my favorite character. I mean, I never really thought one character stood out over the others, but I mean, everybody can pick favorites, sure. But
right where you're saying you quit is when he quit. Like, he quit like season 5, I think. So
yeah,
to go do whatever.
I didn't exactly quit. That's just sort of what happens to me with shows. Like, I don't necessarily. It's very rare that I just make an active decision to stop doing it. It just stops. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when I stopped like doing drugs. I never, when I was like in my early 20s, I never was like, this has to stop. I just sort of stopped.
You outgrew it.
I guess. That's very true in the case of pot, which is funny now because pot's like legal. It's not even a thing anymore. It's like the last time I ever smoked pot, I was 24, and I felt ridiculous. I felt like a kid. Like, people were taking hits on a bong. I was just like, I have no respect for myself. And I'm not trying to make fun of people or say, oh, you suck. No, that's fine. I'm just saying I personally felt like a fucking idiot. I was just like, I don't know. I can't do this anymore.
It's not like I said I have to stop. I said I have to stop running from the cops all the time. Because that gets really old.
I bet.
Yeah. Well, my last couple of weeks have just been kind of a blur to me. I've been like sick, and I had a sinus infection that turned into bronchitis, that turned into something else that I ended up in the emergency room over, and like they couldn't tell me what was wrong with me, and they did this and they did that, and they took blood and they took urine, and they swabbed here and they swabbed there, and they were like, there's nothing wrong with you, and I'm going, but there's something. So, I mean, I finally just kind of got over it, but yeah. So I've missed out on the new Avengers. I missed out on A Quiet Place. What movies I have been watching have been like early 80s slasher movies, and I did see a really good movie called You Were Never Really Here, or You Were Never Really There.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay, that's another one that I could watch. So
it's got Joaquin Phoenix.
That's like a kidnapping or something.
Yeah. Really, just very kind of thought provoking, and like I don't know. Like I saw, it's like a little bit of Taxi Driver, a little bit of Drive, like maybe even some Terrence Malick thrown in there. It was just very, it's very interesting. I really enjoyed it. Really, really liked it. And Joaquin Phoenix.
Prisoners.
Joaquin Phoenix is really good. Yeah, I've seen Prisoners.
Was it better than Prisoners? I always thought Prisoners was really good.
Yeah, I like Prisoners, but yeah, I don't know. I'd have to watch Prisoners again. It's been a while. But I liked it. But yeah, if you get the opportunity, I'd check it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in theaters I want to get to. I want to see Isle of Dogs.
I've heard that's interesting.
Well,
they're always interesting, if nothing else.
I assume you saw the Infinity War, of course, Cole, right?
Just yesterday, actually. I held off for a while because I was trying to see if Ryan could come with me, but he had the whole thing he has to do and stuff. So he said go ahead. So I went yesterday. I don't want to talk too much about it here.
Okay.
I can say some brief things.
Did you see it, Stingray?
Not yet. I still need to watch Age of Ultron, but I am going to go see it soon. I'm trying to catch up on my Marvel movies.
Well, what were your thoughts, Cole?
Well, just like he said about catching up, like, and I know it's a thing that sort of bothers a lot of people, is like, you know, they all lead into each other and stuff like that. Like, I can say, like, you don't really need to see Black Panther to see this. The only thing Black Panther lets you know is that Bucky is in Wakanda, even though we already knew Bucky was in Wakanda because it's at the teaser thing at the end of Cap 3. But just in case you forgot, Bucky's in Wakanda. And Thor Ragnarok is definitely awesome and worth seeing as a standalone movie because it's just really great. But it also establishes that Thor and the Hulk are out in space. So those are important things to know before you see this movie. So that you know that they've been away, so they weren't around for Civil War or whatever. So they didn't know the Avengers broke up, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to know that much at least, but that's not really a big deal. But I mean, no, it's really good. It's what, I don't know, kind of what I expected in a way. It's great. Like I was talking to Bruce, Eric the other day about it, and he just said it's great how it just sort of it jumps right in, which is nice too, because a lot of these movies have, like, they're trying to catch you up or do a preamble and stuff. This jumps right in, which is really nice because you know, it's not a short movie, it's not a long movie, it's about 2.5 hours, which is longish, I guess, but you know, probably could have been longer, you think, but they do a good job of moving it along, I think. And then, you know, then it's just kind of what you expect. You get to see certain characters that haven't been in movies together yet in the movies together. Oh, Doctor Strange is meeting Tony Stark, and the Guardians are meeting Thor, you know, and you get to see that, and it's kind of cool seeing some of the characters play off each other. And they do a really great job with Thanos in that, like, they have some good long scenes with him to flesh him out and explain his motivation, which is that from the comics, at least his original thing in the comics was he basically feels like it's his duty. He's the only person in the universe with the clarity and the moral authority that that half the universe's population should be just killed off, because that's the only way the rest will survive and live and, you know, and not suffer and stuff like that. And he feels like he has to take it upon himself to do this. And that's why he needs the Infinity Gems. I don't know why they changed it to stones. To me, they're the Infinity Gems, and he's going to use the gauntlet to do it, blah, 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 blah. So they do a good job with him of, like, making him not just seem like some sort of, again, sort of stock power mad villain, which is kind of interesting because he's literally seeking stuff that would make him the most powerful being in the universe. But he's not doing it because he's a maniacal, power hungry guy. It's because he feels like he's supremely enlightened, and it's his duty basically to perform this task since nobody else will. And of course, there's the tie-in with Gamora. He raised Gamora. You get a flashback. You get to see how he met her when he was a little girl. His people were killing off her planet. It was during one of his purges that he adopts her. That's not a spoiler, I don't think. Stuff like that. So I mean, it's definitely. I mean, if you like the Marvel movies, you're gonna like this movie. It's pretty easy to say. It's weird though. Hawkeye and Ant-Man aren't there. They're mentioned, so I guess they'll show up in the next one.
So will the next one be a continuation of this one, or is it?
It will have to be. Okay. Well, let's just say this is an Empire Strikes Back ending.
Okay.
Except more so.
I might try and see it on sometime this weekend with Jeremy, because Jeremy wants to see it, but we'd both been sick, so I mean, we just kind of put it off, and yeah. But I don't think it's going anywhere for a while. So.
I don't think so either. I'd say it pretty much delivers on its, you know, its premise and promise and stuff like that. Again, more like less what you expect. I really like the Doctor Strange stuff. They do really. The Doctor Strange movie, its story isn't very compelling, but it's just so visually fun. And this just reminds me of that, because whenever Doctor Strange is using his powers, there's really great effects and stuff. They really did a good job of paying attention to the original Ditko comic from the 60s that were all psychedelic and stuff. They do a really cool job with his powers and stuff. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I've always liked him. I mean, I think he's just one of those guys everybody really likes and respects. And I don't blame him, but his Doctor Strange is kind of weird to me because he's really cold and standoffish and impersonal, which is what I'm not used to at all. In the comics, he's very warm and personable and nice. In this, he's not, and I wonder if they're going to change that over time. So that threw me a bit, but that's more of a comic book geek thing than anything else. Trying to think. I was saying, oh yeah, there's some little things. Like I didn't understand why Scarlet Witch suddenly doesn't have her Eastern European accent anymore. That's just gone. Elizabeth Olsen just speaks with a normal, like, North American voice now. Her accent is gone. Some people said it was because, well, she was in hiding, so she was, suppressing her accent to blend in. Okay, I guess. I figure most people watching had already forgotten she had an accent, but I remember these things. So I was like, what happened to her accent? But it's not a big deal. They still do the thing where they have to mow down a bunch of aliens towards the end. It's like everybody has to run at each other in a big group, which I'm getting a little sick of. It's like, okay, we don't need to keep doing this, but I get it. Like that's the setup. That's fine. But I mean, at least that's not like the complete climax. There's more besides just that, which is good because that would be kind of disappointing. I think that's always what it comes down to. That's a challenge whenever you're doing something with superheroes, whether it's in a comic or in a movie, is like you don't want the climax to just be, well, the heroes win because they beat up the bad guy. You want something that makes them have to do something more, something extra. Not just, oh, they were better fighters, so they won, because that's simplistic and stupid. So that's always the challenge, is you don't want it just be them fighting. They even like point out how in the Dark Knight, like how Joker, like he says, did you think I left my whole plan down and let it all, ride on culminate on a fist fight with you? Like, I'm not stupid. I know you'd beat me. That's why I planned around it, So that kind of thing. And that's the challenge for writers whenever you're dealing with that. You don't want to just be, oh, the heroes show up and they beat up the bad guy and it's over, because that just feels simplistic and, not good enough and stuff. And, but yeah, the way this one ends, nothing's resolved. That's for sure. Oh God, no. That's not even, I can't say, but I mean, God, no. But there's so for people that go see it, you know how lately they were doing the thing where they would have two after the credits? There'd be one after only a few minutes, and then there'd be the one at the end. There's only one at the end this time. They don't throw you a bone. You have to sit through the whole thing.
Does it involve Howard the Duck?
No.
Then it sucks.
I know. You think it would be time to bring him back, considering what's going on.
I'm not watching that shit anymore. I'm not sitting through 30 minutes of fucking credits, man. I'll go on YouTube and watch it. Seriously, it's the dumbest thing usually. Like Black Panther, it was like you got to see like Bulky or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, it's like, all right, Bucky's here, in case you forgot.
Well, let me give a shout out to some of the.
This is I'll just say this one, unlike a lot of them, is actually more rewarding than a lot of them. Like this one actually sets something up that matters. I'll say that much.
Okay. Let me give a shout out to some of the viewers out there in Sausage Factory Nation tonight. We've got Jacob McCullum watching with us, Lee Gannon, Movie Man 95. We have got the PlayStationeer. We've got Jamie Michelle watching with us tonight as well. Pierce Nightshade, Big Ideas 3, DJ Donnelly, Rocky Voorhees. Nice lively chat going on already tonight. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. Zombie Fun 100 is also with us. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday night. Josh O'Brien.
Shout outs to my mate in the Brexit area. Word up. What's up? Hey, living.
Brexit forever.
We've got Max Punishment watching, Joe Caroluzzo, the horror reel, Sean Urshan. So thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Hope you all are doing well. So yeah, tonight's just going to be your random kind of show, just shooting the bull, this and that and the other. So anyway, what do you guys feel like talking about? Orc, what's on your mind? Let's go deep into the mind of Orc tonight. Okay, what have you been thinking about lately? What's been troubling you? What's going on in your mind? And Jay the Stingray runs.
Well, that's normal. I do that too. I mean, a lot of people I make uncomfortable. They get shy around me. Just look at Cole. It's a perfect example. But no, this is gonna be DJ was just saying in the chat, he's like, what's the fourth like here in America? So DJ, just think of just any ethnicity, because we have them all here in the States, and people getting wasted, blowing off their fingers, and literally blowing anything up they can. And everyone has American flags like running around like crazy. That is the 4th year in America. And then I believe, Cole, correct me if I'm wrong, July 1st is Canada Day, right?
Yep.
And it's similar, kind of, pretty much.
Pretty much. It's it's like that on a smaller scale, I guess, because there's less of us and stuff. But yeah, barbecues and fireworks and shit like that.
But for the 4th DJ, if you're in an interesting area, like literally from when the sun is like going down, no, like from probably like dinner time, like 4 or 5 p.m. until like 3 a.m. or until the cops get called on you, literally people are blowing shit up. They literally go to another state and fill up like an F-150 with like fireworks, and then they like try to cross the border, and they buy like $20,000 in fireworks. That's like an average American 4th of July.
Don't. That's not like that at all.
Come on, Jay.
Oh, okay, yeah. Everyone's completely like just out of their mind.
It's like the Purge, but like with Bud Light, People aren't out of their mind. I'm just saying people like having a good time. Like you've heard like fireworks go off at like 2 a.m.
Shit, yeah. I'm gonna go find who's doing that shit. I do.
That's when Jay starts his own purge.
That's when Jay just opens the bed and starts shooting out the window. So.
And there was this one year, a few years ago, it was on New Year's Eve, though. This kid had gone, I say kid, he was a few years younger than me, and I was an adult. And he puts this huge like rocket like right in my driveway by my front door and fires this fucking thing off. And it's like 1 a.m. And I'm sitting there watching him do it. So I go grab my 45 and chase his ass down the driveway. And it turns out the guy was in the fire department and was just like super drunk and he was crazy. I don't know what was going on. Oh, and the funniest thing is when he was running away, he was screaming, "I hate my life! I hate my life!"
That must have been my cousin Al. Yeah, he's fucking yeah. You gotta watch him when he's off of his meds. Sorry, Jay. Sorry about that.
I called the cops. They never came.
What's going on? No, the summer's going to be nice. Like, I'm not a fan of winter at all. I fucking hate ice. Yeah, mainly waiting on Venom and Halloween. I think they're both coming out in October. Other than that, just memeing, watch a little bit of tennis, a little World Cup for my Euro friends out there, my memers. I don't know. Just enjoy wearing shorts and a t-shirt. That's going to be nice. Instead of like being like bundled up like I'm in the Thing movie, Like, oh yeah, we got to go to the mailbox. Let's fucking brace ourselves. It's like, no, that's not fun. How about you, Piz? What's going on in your life?
Not too much. Before I was sick, I got sick. I took a nice little road trip with my girlfriend. We went up to New Jersey to Camp Novi Bosco, and we took a tour of the shooting location for the original Friday the 13th, which was an amazing, just a fantastic experience.
That was at Camp Nabisco, right?
Camp Nabisco, yes. There were cookies in every cabin. It was fantastic.
Holy shit, dude! Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was fantastic. But yeah, we walked through, walking through those woods and walking through those cabins and standing in front of that lake, man. It was unreal, man. It was awesome. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Then we went out to Pennsylvania, and I checked out the Monroeville Mall where Dawn of the Dead was filmed back in the day, and that was pretty cool. And what was interesting about our trip was we spanned the full gamut of weather possibilities. We went from beautiful, 70-degree weather in New Jersey to we were going to go up to Niagara Falls. Got into New York, and I swear every mile further into New York we went, I was watching the thermostat on my car. We were just it was dropping just insane. to the point where we were, it was like low 40s. We'd gone from literally high 60s in Jersey to low 40s in not very far into New York. And, I drive a car that is not good in snow. So I remember I woke up my girlfriend and I was like, you probably need to check what's going on up in Niagara Falls. And she checked it on her phone and she was like, it's 30 degrees up there and it's going to start snowing in about an hour. And I was like, well, we probably need to turn around. So we stopped somewhere in New York and it was absolutely frigid. All I'd packed with me was like a hoodie, just frigid. And so we got back, we turned around, we went the other way, got into Pittsburgh, got into Pennsylvania, had some really nice weather in Pennsylvania. Went down into Ohio and got hit with just a whiteout, a blizzard. Drove through a freaking blizzard. I was like, God, this is where it all ends. And then by the time we got into Kentucky, just a couple of hours later, it was 70 degrees again. So we spanned the entire weather gamut over the course of our little road trip. But yeah, definitely the highlight was, the filming location of the original Friday the 13th. And the only cabin that's not there anymore is the cabin where Alice is nailing the gutter onto. That one just, succumbed to time and it had fallen in years ago. But all the other cabins were there. We went through the cabin that was used as the shower where the girl got the axe in the face, and we went into the cabin where Kevin Bacon got killed, and the main cabin, of course, it's funny because that cabin was so small to be inside, but you see it in the movie and it looks so much bigger. The archery range is still there. It looks pretty much exactly the same. It was just so cool, man.
So, Piz, when you were in New York, did you visit the Empire State Building? Because New York is just the city, right?
No, we went into New York and we didn't get very far in, and we turned around and we came right back.
If you ever don't want to have a fun time, it beats Kansas and Ohio, but if just drive from New York City to Buffalo, that's a fun trip. That's fun.
Yeah, no, we just got, we didn't get very far to New York before we had to turn around and come back. So,
were you driving the car I'm thinking of, the Mazda?
Was driving my 1978 VW Bug.
Sweet.
For those of you that don't know, Piz has the car from Phantasm.
Wow,
it's pretty awesome.
The Cuda, man, the Cuda. It's pretty beast.
Yeah, it's a savage, bro.
Not good on ice. Not good on.
Oh, but it's good on the ladies, isn't it, Piz? Yeah. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Dude, I bet you pull up in that VW Bug, like no bullshit, and just go to a Sonic on a Friday night, and you have to ask for IDs. That's how bowling you are.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I roll up in there. I'm blasting.
Limp Bizkit,
Nookie. And it's just it's.
Mom, there's this weird guy, and I think he's trying to kidnap me, and he's blasting this weird music from like the 80s or something. I don't understand. I just wanted to get a lemonade here at Sonic. What's going on? No, don't. He doesn't have candy in the VW. No.
But it was fun. And then, of course, afterwards I get, very, very sick. But I'm better now, so happy.
That sounds like a fun trip, man. It's always nice to just kind of go, with no real set plan.
Yeah. The only real plan was the Friday the 13th location tour, and everything else was just, let's go here, let's go there, let's see this, let's see that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really want to go do a road trip in the Southwest next time. Hit up Arkansas, Texas, Arizona, go to Texarkana where the Talent Rated Sundown was filmed. Head over into Texas, find the gas station and the house from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the graveyard. So.
Oh man, I think I told you I went to a wedding that was it was literally like 3 miles from the gas station.
Really?
And I didn't even realize it at the time. I was like, oh shit. So that sucks, but I will go there one day.
Yeah. So the
Yeah, the TCM. Sorry to interrupt you, but the TCM locations. I mean, that's cool and all, and I know that's your movie you like way more than me, even though I'm a big fan too. But I'd like more to like go where like Killer Legends is, you know, like Texarkana, and like go where Lover's Lane was. That's the video I'd click on first if you did all that stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Texarkana and just to. I don't know if they have anything. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they have anything like related to the movie there or anything like that. But it'd be cool just to go.
I'm not even sure where that is in Texas.
It's right there on the it's right there on the border, the Texas Arkansas border.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Geography.
But I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the problem with Texas, man. It's so big. It's so much stuff to see there.
Yeah, that's what she said to me.
Come on, man.
You know what?
I guess it's big. I've had to drive through Quebec. I mean, Quebec is biggest north to south, so it's not as bad. But I mean, still, driving through it takes.
Well, I mean, it would be a trip that you need like 3 weeks, to do. If you wanted to go to like Dallas and Austin and San Antonio or whatever.
Yeah,
you want to do because
the Pierce Nightshade in the chat says Orc wants to visit the locations of Grave Encounters. That's probably true.
Dude, the second one, I don't care what basement it was shot in. The first one, I'd go to all the basements. All the basements, dude.
All the basements.
I think it's either at the end of the first one or the second one. They actually flash the coordinates.
Was it like some project housing in like Hollywood, California?
No, it was like a real, abandoned. I don't remember if it was a former asylum or what, but it was like a real abandoned place.
It's kind of cool.
Spoiler alert: it was shot in Cole's basement, where he lives in Canada.
I used to love basements.
Yeah.
Now I'm too afraid of them because I've been playing Resident Evil 7 and I'm terrified of basements and everything.
Yeah, a fun fact about Canada, and Cole is Cole actually he doesn't leave where he lives currently that often because there's just like mobs of ladies just trying to like rape him. So, Canadian women, they're all about that maple syrup. You know what I'm saying?
That's why the location's classified. Yeah.
Cole's a ladies' man. What can you do?
Yep. It's a sea of strange.
There you go. Stingray, what's been on your mind lately?
Oh man, I don't know. I was thinking of what kind of movies are coming out later in the year. What I was looking forward to, Deadpool 2 looks really. I know it's kind of got some mixed reactions in the test screenings, but I don't really care about test.
I don't care about that either. Yeah.
The
previews look good.
Did you see the trailer? Did you guys see the trailer for the Meg movie?
That sounds familiar. Yes, I saw it yesterday in theaters. What the hell is it?
It's just about it's a big giant shark movie.
Yes, that's right.
That looks fucking awesome. I want to see that
prehistoric shark thing.
Yeah. I want to see that. Oh man, it looks
interesting.
So good.
Actors in there, like Rainn Wilson is there, and British guy from action movies.
I don't care how stupid it is. That's the kind of stuff I want to see.
Yeah, same here. That's exactly right up my alley. Yeah.
Well, I'm not like a creature person like you guys, but I want to see it because at least at the beginning, I like movies that are like in like underwater places, like the Abyss and Sphere and stuff like that. So at least some of the movie seems to start off that way. So that's kind of why I want to see it. Although I guess apparently it moves around quite a bit. But yeah, that's right. It's called Meg. Yeah. I just saw the preview for it in the theater. It looks great on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a fun one. But what other movies were you thinking about, Stingray, that are upcoming movies you're looking forward to?
Yeah, the new Jurassic World I'll check out.
Grave Encounters 3.
Yeah, is it only 3?
I watched Jeepers Creepers 3 the other day.
Wow, how was that?
Well, the first one is decent. But then neither of the sequels understand what made the first one decent. Like, okay, so it's why is a monster that has big wings called a creeper anyway? What the fuck sense does that make? If something creeps, it definitely doesn't fly. It's like the complete opposite. But anyway, so like in the first movie, they do a pretty good job of like they have the whole opening scene. It's been years since I've seen it, but I remember this opening scene. They almost get run off the road by a mysterious truck. And then they stop at this place and they find the bodies and they have like it's good sort of following the horror movie beats and stuff. And every time you see the creature at first, it's in the darkness and you only get a good look at it from here and there. And it's not till towards the end that you get like a full on look at its face. And okay, it looks stupid. It looks like a guy just with a bunch of makeup and shit on his face. I mean, it's not a good, impressive looking creature by any stretch of the imagination. The main problem with 3 is 90% of it, if not more, takes place in broad daylight, with the creature just sort of like walking around, like there he is, like just full long lingering shots of him like checking his truck and and it just highlights how ridiculous he looks and how stupid it is. Like that monster works in quick shots and in the darkness and the shadows, but they have long lingering shots in full daylight of him just doing around, and it's just dumb. And the weirdest part is, timeline wise, it takes place between the first and second, so technically it's an interval. Which is really dumb. So I don't know, like it's not very interesting or watchable anyway. But anything that made like the other two like at least scarier, had tension, there's none of that in this because everything happens in full daylight. Usually there's a ton of people around. Like there's nothing even. It doesn't even seem to be trying to be a horror movie or to be scary. It's just more like, okay, here's this town versus this thing, and that's it. And they have like this black guy who's kind of like the bounty hunter guy from Jason Goes to Hell, basically, and he's running around, yelling at people, telling them that they have to kill this thing and all this stuff. And there's this whole thing where, like, it can regenerate parts of its body, and this all centers around, like, it has that 23-year cycle. That 23 years ago, at the last time it was around, somebody managed to cut off its hand and bury it. Now they have, like, the hand, and now, like, if you touch the hand, it makes you see, like, visions and stuff.
Oh, it's stupid.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Cole, you must have watched everything on Netflix if you watched Jeepers Creepers.
I've almost watched it a few times, but I don't know, man. The whole Victor Salva thing, I don't know if I can.
I actually started watching it, and I watched about a minute or two of it, and I stopped.
I'm like Cole, man. I can separate the art. Like, dude, I know what he did was fucked up.
It was like in 1988, for God's sake. Like when people first talking about it, I thought it just happened or something. I was like, oh yeah, fuck him. But it was,
and
like,
true,
I've already seen his, like, so he did this when I was like 4 years old, before I had any concept of movies. Like, I'm not saying that makes it okay, but I'm just saying, at what point do you let stuff go or whatever?
And true, he's still.
And I don't mean if you're a victim. I mean if you're just somebody like us, because it has no impact on us whatsoever.
And like what Cole's saying, like I'm still gonna watch Rosemary's Baby and what's the other fucking movie with the girl in the apartment?
Lieutenant.
Oh no, Repulsion.
Repulsion, yeah, like I love those movies.
I'm not going to go on this because nobody's going to agree with me, but I don't even have any problem with anything.
Lieutenant's good too.
I got no problem with Roman Polanski. I don't care.
It's not that. I mean, I don't know.
He's no Harvey Weinstein.
What gets me is like when you go back and actually analyze those other two Creepers movies. It's like
the second one has like a bunch of like boys with their shirts off and stuff. In the second one.
Well, even like in the first one, I mean, he's like smelling the kids' underwear and like just it's like when you like I didn't know anything about his past.
I can say there's nothing really creepy in this one at all. What's weird is if you look it up on Wikipedia, they talk about this line where it says something like they say that there's like a reference to like child abuse or something like that, but there's not, unless you really take it that way. There's a part where the main girl in the movie says, I didn't get along with my stepfather, so my mother chose him over me, and now I live with my grandmother. You're supposed to extrapolate that he molested her from that. Her literal lines are, I didn't get along with my stepfather, which to me sounds like I didn't get along. But if you read the Wikipedia article on it, they make it sound like it was past abuse. And then there's a part where after she goes off screen, one of the other guys says to the guy like something, he says some like sexual remark about her, like, how you'd like to, I don't know, like that. And then he just says, can you blame me? The heart wants what it wants. And again, and on Wikipedia, again, they make it sound like they frame it wrong, because they make it sound like that's somebody trying to normalize or what's the word, excuse or rationalize pedophilia or something. But again, it's not. She's not underage. He's not some old guy. And so I don't get it. So like the Wikipedia article is, I guess, just trying to, whoever wrote it just maybe wants to tie stuff into it. Again, I'm not defending Victor Salva. I'm just saying there's nothing creepy or squicky in the third one, at least. Maybe there was and they cut it out, or maybe he learned his lesson and figured he had to pull it back. I don't know. I'm just saying the third one doesn't have that. That's not a recommendation to watch it. Don't watch it because it's a stupid movie that has like no, like, it sucks. Anything that worked about, anything about worked about a monster movie, they do wrong in this movie. They show the monster way too much in broad daylight. Everybody's just walking around talking. They add layers that don't make sense. There's not one moment of like tension or even half-ass scariness in the movie. The whole thing's just like do. Like I don't even know why it was such a big deal to him. For years, he had to make this movie. It was a big deal. Like, is this movie going to happen?
Well, that's his,
and like, it's just this stupid, underwhelming piece of shit.
That's the only thing he's ever had that's been somewhat successful. Is probably why he wanted to return to it. He's done other stuff. It was all garbage,
like
though.
Powder.
Oh yeah, and that's oh man.
Jay, man, you can watch it and separate the art from the molestation, but you just need lots of caffeine because it's fucking boring. Oh my god, it's so boring.
Well, like
well,
I'm
in
one of
this
the few.
case, it's just if you want to call it art, it's really weak, crappy art. So, if you're really one of those people that is disturbed by those sorts of things, well, then the easy choice is then don't watch it then, because it's not like it's not like you're going to be like, oh, I'm glad like I swallowed my outrage so I could watch this great piece of art. No. so if you have a real problem with Victor Salva and stuff, then the easy choice is don't watch his movies because you're not missing out.
So it's like driveway art, with the chalk with the kids. You know how they like, there's all the colors and they just do a bunch of shit. That's the art. It's pretty much like so.
Because I mean, at least with like somebody Polanski, like I'm sure there's people that like, oh, he makes me sick and stuff, but they can't deny he's made good films and maybe they should watch some of them and stuff, But De Salva, it's like, no, he's not exactly an artiste.
Typical chauvinist. But no, I'm one of the.
And again, I want people to know that I'm only talking about their art. I'm not comparing crimes or anything like that, or saying like if you're like some person that did a bunch of terrible things and committed crimes, it's excusable because you made good art. Not saying that, no. So
I'm one of the few people that actually like part 2 more because it explored more of the creatures like lore, and I think that's when it said was it 27 years or 23 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It introduced all that stuff, and I thought that was really cool.
I don't really remember part 2. I've only seen each movie once. And part 2 is the one I don't remember too well. I remember it involved the bus. In fact, this is how that movie ends. It's like one of the characters, he's just about to get on that bus. Although I don't know if he can't possibly show up in the movie because of the time jump in real life, but he's this character that has like a totally really freckly face. I don't remember a character like that in the second film, if they recast or what. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But that's how the movie ends. It ends with him just about to get on the bus. So this is actually in between the two movies, which is an interesting choice.
It's odd, yeah.
So that's how he gets around the time, is just he does period movies, because it is such a long dormancy period.
Yeah. So technically, like, even though this movie just came out, like, we're still watching a movie that's set in, like, 2001. Not that it really makes much of a difference. It's not like people are on their smartphones or anything in it.
I'll probably just continue to avoid it.
But I'll watch I'll watch Jeepers Creepers 1, 2, and 3 all day before you can make me watch Hatchet. Like I despise the Hatchet movies.
I agree with that.
Well, then we get into the realm of Oscar award-winning, picture, because that's all the Jeepers Creepers movies versus the Hatchet movies.
I think you're referring to Adam Green's Hatchet. I think that's the correct title. Okay.
Oh, of course. Well, you have to give credit where credit's due to him. Proper master of horror. I remember we had some guest on, and I really offended them by saying that Adam Green's movies sucked.
Yeah.
That's why I don't talk when I have guests on.
I'm sorry. I was gonna keep it quiet here for a sec, but all the big horror sites, and this isn't just me trying to make a statement or anything. They all suck, and they all ride the dicks of Eli Roth and Adam Green and all those fucking new directors. You know, James Wan is good, and Ty West is pretty legit too. Every other person they praise and they promote and they give raving reviews to, they suck. I'm sorry, they're terrible. Adam Green has done like 2 good movies. He did what Digging Up the Morrow and Frozen. Has he done anything else?
I like those two.
Who did you offend, Cole? Do you remember?
It might have. I always forget his name. It wasn't Peter Bracke. It might have been our Halloween guy.
Justin Beam.
It might have been Justin Beam. Now, I don't think I really exactly offended him, but he was very quick to come to Adam Green's defense, like as if he knew him or something like that. And I didn't argue with him because
How do you? How? I mean, I don't. How do you defend Hatchet? I don't know. I don't know how you begin the Hatchet defense.
I know. I've said this several times, but one of the main reasons make me mad is like before I knew Adam Green was and Hatchet was a brand new thing. It was before it had come out and everything. That like teaser looked great.
Yeah.
I thought that teaser was awesome. I was like, oh, this is so good. Like Southern Gothic in the bayou. Like it was so well cut together. The music was really eerie and stuff. Like, and of course it didn't show anything, which as it turned out was definitely for the best. And then I saw the movie and I was like, what the fuck? So yeah.
It has some great creature effects in it. That's one good thing I'd say about it, but that's it.
Well, I actually went back. Here's how much time I had on my hands when I was sick those 2 weeks. I actually went back and I rewatched the movie that Bloody Disgusting called the scariest movie of all time, Blair Witch. And here's some shocking news, breaking news. It still sucks. So
I've avoided it. You guys all said it was terrible. That's all I'm saying.
Jay, you find it watchable since you like found footage films like me. It's watchable. You won't enjoy it though.
Even for found, it's that kind of like super, like there's, even for a found footage movie, I mean, it just feels so, it hardly to me even feels like a found footage movie because it's so fake found footage. And I mean, I get it, all found footage is fake, but I mean, some movies do a really good job of making it feel real. It's like they didn't even try with Blair Witch.
No. There's way too many characters in it. Like, what the hell? It's one of the things that's one of our problems actually with some of the Hatchet movies. It's like, why are there so many goddamn people? Horror doesn't work when there's a big fucking group of people.
Yeah, but you see with Adam Green, he's got to throw as many of those convention all-star people in it as possible, for 2 seconds before they die. So that you can be like, hey, I met that guy at a he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, I met her at a convention. Oh, she's dead.
Because I mean, at least like in something like Friday the 13th Part 5, yeah, there's a high body count. And a lot of people die, but a lot of them are like spread out from each other. They're not all together, like talking and running and stuff, which is what they do in like both Hatchet sequels. There's just like 12 people on a group going, run away, which isn't scary. It takes away the isolation. It takes away all the danger and stuff. I mean, yes, in real life, that would be scary. But as a movie, it's not, But as far as horror directors go, I mean, it's a little early because he only has one down, but his next movie is going to be a horror movie. I have high hopes for Robert Eggers, the guy that wrote and directed The Witch. Mm-hmm. His upcoming film for next year is called The Lighthouse, which has Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe. So I have high hopes for whatever that is will be good. So
I have to go for just people that say The Witch is boring, like you're like fucking stupid and you don't know what a good movie is. Because The Witch is great, but I see people like, dude, they'll be from 12 up to like 50, and they'll be like, it was fucking boring, and I'm gonna go watch Okay, I'm sorry I'm doing this other thing, but
hey, man, shit, that's some good ass movie, man.
I didn't see one rocket launcher in that goddamn fucking movie.
I love The Witch. It's been like this happens as I've been buying less and less movies over the years. This is like one of the few movies the last few years that like I bought as soon as it became available to buy. I bought it.
That's a masterpiece.
Yeah, and The Lighthouse, which is sort of cool because it's going to have some authenticity to it. Because I'm just reading here that it's a lot of it's going to be filmed in Yarmouth, which is here in Nova Scotia. I've never been that far. It's the extreme western part of tip of of Nova Scotia. Years ago, you could take a ferry from Yarmouth to Boston, and I've always wanted to go there. But so that's cool. So like, because I mean, Nova Scotia being what we are, we have a lot of lighthouses. We're all coastline. That's what Nova Scotia is. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad that they're filming in a sort of a authentic sort of place for it. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with The Witch is people just don't have the patience for genuine suspense anymore. That's why you see so many jump scare bullshit is so common. And that's not the stuff that scares me, man. It's like that building of suspense is what gets me every time, you know? And it's what I love.
And there's other ways to use the camera besides like a quick cut. Like sometimes even go back to like, say, the original Halloween. Sometimes Michael's standing there in the darkness, and it just sort of stays on him. You know, that's great stuff when they do it properly.
Yeah. I was just looking on IMDb to see what David Robert Mitchell, who directed It Follows, what he's been doing. And he's got a movie coming out in June called Under the Silver Lake, about a man who becomes obsessed with the strange circumstances of a billionaire mogul's murder and the kidnapping of a girl.
Sounds more thriller, but who knows?
Yeah.
If you're into horror movies, by the way, sorry to cut you off, Cole, but like The Witch, you know, it builds suspense, like you were saying. But another one, like where I kind of test whether people can stand subtitles and like actually enjoy a good movie, at least in my opinion, is Audition. That's another one.
I'm too chicken to watch Audition. I still
have well, you have your reasons though. So
you've got a double whammy, man. You've got a slow burn and you've got a subtitles.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of people that are immediately going to be turned off by that.
That's one that I keep wanting to go back.
And I guess not everybody likes puke as much as I do. I like a good puke scene.
Oh yeah, I mean I love puke.
I mean, yeah, we all like what's his name? I don't know, Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jamie wants to know if any of us have seen Tourist Trap. Yes, I have seen Tourist Trap. I like Tourist Trap. It's a fun kind of, you know, grindhouse, you know, drive-in kind of late 70s horror movie.
I saw it once, like on its original DVD release. I forgot who put it out like 15 years ago, and I remember it, but I haven't seen it since.
I'm sure that'd been Anchor Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Another good one from around that same time would be Motel Hell. That's kind of in the same vein. You should check that one out too, Jamie.
Oh, damn it. Farm Adventures Critters. I forget the quote.
Yeah, it takes a whole lot of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters.
Nice.
Of course, all those critters happen to be people.
Long pig.
Long pig. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, I find myself wanting to revisit Audition every now and again. I only saw it once, and it was many, many years ago. So, and I don't remember liking it. I remember just being like really underwhelmed by it. Like, well, even like, you know, the shocking ending, I was just kind of like, you know. So I don't know. I kind of want to go back and revisit it. I see Dave Shaw's talking about the Chopping Mall remake. Apparently that's not happening. That's just some BS from the guy that directed Laid to Rest.
Yeah.
Jim Wynorski said that dude's been talking about that remake forever, but he doesn't have the rights, so it's just not going to happen.
Robert.
He should be working on Laid to Rest 3, shouldn't he?
I forget the guy's name. Robert. Yeah, it's Robert something or the other. But yeah, Wynorski posted on Facebook. He was like, all these Chopping Mall remake rumors are bull. He was like, this guy's been telling people for years that his next movie is the Chopping Mall remake. He was like, Wynorski has a percentage of the rights to that movie, and
does he?
I think Lionsgate has the other percentage. And he's like, this guy's not been in contact with either of us, so there's no way he's got the rights.
Wonder what titty flick Wynorski's working on right now.
I don't know.
It's I'm sure Cinemax is clamoring for a new Wynorski joint.
Wynorski does, like, if you look at his IMDb, it's insane because he's got like 40 different pseudonyms. Like when the horror stuff is Wynorski. Like he does like softcore stuff. which he uses the name H.R. Blueberry. Then he has the name J. Andrews, which he uses for like low budget non horror stuff. What was that movie? The Arrival 3 or something that he directed.
Oh, geez, it's got to be good.
So yeah, he's just got a ton of different pseudonyms, and he's an interesting guy, man. He's an interesting guy.
It's like the other day I was looking at Stephen Joffrey's, and we all know that he's had a quite the history of videos that he's been in.
You mean Stephen Jeffries from Friday?
Stephen Jeffries, that's right.
Yes.
And it actually lists all of his adult films that he's been in as his pseudonym. Which I was like, man, that kind of sucks because he used that pseudonym, like not wanting that to get out, but it's like straight up on IMDb.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he probably did not want, but
I hear the pay is really, really good.
Orc would probably know. Orc? He's left. Okay.
What's up, man? No, I'm here. What's up?
When you were working on Meat Thermometer 3, what was the pay on that?
Well, actually, I didn't work on that one. That was a common misunderstanding. From South Park, there was Backdoor Sluts 9. I actually started in Backdoor Sluts 10. But I don't really like to delve into my history, so I don't know why you guys are laughing. I don't know why you're laughing. It's not that funny.
That's a hobby.
Yeah, it's we all, sometimes you just got to spin around a pole to make some cash. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
I mean, if your daughter's 18, just don't let her go. Don't let her read the sign. Just college, all the way, college. That's what I'm saying. Now, anyways, if I can get back to my responding to my casting email for Backdoor Sluts 11, thank you.
Oh, Lord.
College isn't safe. Half those sites are like collegegirls.com where they all have orgies in their dorm rooms.
That's where they get the girls.
Yeah. So if you have your daughter who turns 18, just never let her leave the house. Right?
If you guys have seen any of those documentaries about the porn industry, man,
I will not watch them because it will just make me feel guilty about watching porn.
It definitely will.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them. I've only seen the after porn ends, the two of those, but
there's like
all the other ones
wanted.
That's depressing in a different way. The after porn ends, but
yeah, but all the shit Jay's talking about, I've just seen the trailers and I've just been like, yeah, I like documentaries and I'll watch these, but like literally like they turn 18, it's their birthday, they're like blowing out candles on their birthday cake. How would you like to come to Miami? Because I've heard you got nice tits.
Oh man, but they're like washed up after like 3 months, like their career's over. It's like, oh my god.
That's kind of good though.
It's horrible.
Years in the biz can't be too great for you.
Well, I imagine they saw a lot of things in those 3 months.
Yeah, porn moves fast.
Jerpin mentions Bill and Ted 3. Have you guys seen that apparently Bill and Ted 3 is going to happen?
Yeah, I saw the Twitter thing. I didn't follow up on it.
Are you guys excited for Bill and Ted 3?
They're in their 50s, so no.
I'm not at all.
I'm not excited for that, but I'll probably, I mean, as a filthy movie casual as I am, I like Keanu Reeves, so thank you, Cole, for giving us the great talent of Keanu, Mr. Keanu.
Yeah, I discovered him.
They're filming John Wick 3 right now, so
yeah.
Yep.
I'm glad those movies do well. I don't love them, but they are, a lot better than most action movies that come out.
They're better than that time we watched fucking Olympus Has Fallen or London Has Fallen or whatever the fuck.
Oh jeez.
You leave the great Gerard Butler alone.
God, Gerard Butler is
a treasure.
We watched a movie one night. It was
it was London.
Yeah, London. It was Jay.
I never saw Olympus Has Fallen, but I figured I could still pick up London. And I could.
It was Jay, Cole, and I who watched London Has Fallen.
With President Aaron Eckhart, I think. Wasn't Aaron Eckhart the president?
Yes.
When we watched that, I wasn't worried about who was gonna have to turn it off first. I thought someone might have to kill themselves while watching this film. But
The main thing I liked about that film was that it actually acknowledges Canada for once, like most movies don't, because they had all the world leaders visiting, and they actually showed the Canadian Prime Minister. I mean, they kill him, sure, but I mean that's kind of the point. It's like all the world leaders, all the world leaders get killed, of course, except for the president, because Gerard Butler is guarding him.
Let's talk about fast food for a minute.
Ooh, got him.
Orc, tell us about some of your more recent fast food outings.
Well, I've been limited because I can't meme as much, but with my recent fast food outing, let's see. I went to Sonic a few weeks ago.
Okay,
McDonald's, that's like on the daily for me. That's like a daily thing.
What'd you get at Sonic?
Oh, I got buffalo chicken wings, a cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger, because I'm
Nice.
LGBT vegan friendly, organic.
Nice.
I got a large Coke Zero. I got this large like Sonic Blast thing that was like literally bigger than a 40 ounce, and it was just full of ice cream and Reese's peanut butter cups. And I thought I was gonna die, but I made it, so that's good. I don't have time to.
You clearly don't remember a few weeks ago where I was talking about going through Sonic, and I was like, "What's this Sonic Blast? Is this like a milkshake? I'll take a large one." And they were like, "That'll be $11." And the thing was like a bucket full of ice cream and candy, and I was like,
"It's literally like this big." And then you get it, you hand it, you're like, "Thank you," and then you're like, "Okay."
Didn't like some of those states, like New York, like pass laws so they couldn't make those? Don't like some states have like laws against that stuff? I remember they had a thing in New York about like what was it, the size of like pop or soda beverages.
Well, they tried to tax it. No, they tried to tax it.
In New York City, they tried to make it smaller, like what a large was, kind of like what that supersized fucking idiot did. But you're not gonna stop, dude. If you know a New Yorker, like an actual New Yorker, like I'm a fake one because I didn't grow up in the city itself. But I can't wait till they're like, well, people are fat, so we should start limiting, how much pizza you could buy. And then there's just like mass riots everywhere. Italians like, give me my motherfucking pizza, god damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, couldn't you just like buy 2 drinks?
Yeah,
of course you could.
Okay, I'm just checking.
That'd be funny though.
It would like the drink thing.
If they just cut you off. So
what if it's all like just like tiny little Dixie cups? Like,
but the drink thing in New York is like going to Kansas City and being like, you know what, guys, you can only have 1 16-ounce steak when you barbecue. I'm sorry, and people are just like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
Oh man, somebody mentioned Rallies. Pierce Nightshade mentioned Rallies in the chat. Rallies is so good.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, everything they have there is good.
Don't know anything about it.
Burgers, fries, get you a funnel cake. Just all
See, the whole thing about Rallies is they have 2 drive-thrus
in the middle of the night.
One on each side. Yeah, it's also known as Checkers.
Yeah, depending on what.
Okay, I've seen commercials for Checkers. Again, we don't have it, but on like TBS or whatever, they'd have commercials for Checkers.
I think below Ohio it's Rallies. Above Ohio it's Checkers, or Ohio and above it's Checkers.
Yeah, I get like commercials for all these places we don't have, like Checkers and Jack in the Box and Franklin's and all these.
I don't know why they do it. It's the same with Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. If you're out west, it's Carl's Jr. And then once you hit like fucking Kansas, it turns into Hardee's going east.
I don't really understand why that is, but
I don't either.
It's like it would be like McDonald's and then McW's. It's like fucking they just like change. It's like a W instead of an M. It's like the golden W.
I don't know if they'll like their name though. We need to come up with a different name. Our name's not going to play.
Hardee's seems a little too intense for Seattle there, Bob. What do you think? Write that down. Okay, all right, we're good.
Well, have you guys ever seen a Jollibee? Okay,
never even heard of one.
So not too long ago, I read this article about how Jollibee is a fast food place in the Philippines, and they got like it's like the most famous. It's their biggest chain in the Philippines, and they're like famous for like fried chicken, but they do other stuff too. And anyway, I found out that like a few weeks ago, the first one in Canada like opened in Toronto, and like people were like lined up like 12 hours beforehand to get in. And then I was reading them, and I found out they already do have some locations in the States. So I was wondering if you guys have ever seen them. They had pictures of their food and stuff, and it looked really good. They have this really cool looking sort of like spaghetti, but it's like with a different sort of sauce. I don't know. It looked pretty cool. I mean, I've been thinking about that over the last. Yeah, it's called Jollibee. It's Jollibee. I think it actually has like a B on like the logo or whatever like that. But yeah, but they're I guess the biggest one from the Philippines.
I'll definitely check it out if I have a chance.
Let's see if I can find out exactly how spread out they are. Because yeah, they do have U.S. places. Let's see, they're in California. I don't know where else in the U.S., but they have some in the U.S. and now they're just starting to. They only have one in Canada so far, and they're going to open up like 2 or 3 over the next few years, but probably won't come way out here probably. But I don't know. It just looked really good in the pictures.
I hate to admit it, but like there's some stuff that's like very region based, like across North America, that I've just never had the chance to get. Like I've had In-N-Out, but I never had it. I've had Nations, and that's supposed to be like the bomb, like in California. It might be in Arizona too, but just look up Nations. It's like a place that like Californians like go crazy over. But
yeah, In-N-Out's good. I never had Nations. I tell you what's good is a Steak and Shake. You guys ever been to a Steak and Shake?
Of course, yeah.
One time in my life, I'll never forget.
We finally got one fairly close to where I am, and it's. Let me tell you, it's like always has a line like down the block.
Yeah, that's the same thing with what's funny is like here, even if it's like I remember when we got Taco Bell, it was like people had never eaten a taco in their life. Yeah. I swear to God, there was a line around the restaurant that stretched out onto the shoulder of the highway.
Wow.
For tacos. I drove past it and I was thinking, my God, it's like we've never had a taco before.
I know. Like you can't go to the grocery store and get like a taco kit and like make one and easily.
Yeah.
I know Piz likes these places, but 2 bomb places I think that both originated in Colorado are Qdoba and Chipotle, and those are fucking epic.
Oh man,
I've heard of Chipotle.
Like, can I get? It's like $10, and they're like, "Can I get extra steak?" And then they're like, "That'll be $25." And I'm like, "Do I need a down payment or what? Like, what's going on here?"
I think I'd like Chipotle. Yeah, I want to go on your Southwestern road trip with you, Pizzelle, because I like a lot of the Southwest style stuff because a lot of it has like a lot of kick to it. I'm a person that needs a lot of flavor in my food. If it doesn't have it, I'll salt and pepper the hell out of it and put butter on whatever, or sauce or butter. Like, to me, most food tastes bland, so I like stuff that has a lot of taste.
I was never in SoCal, but literally in Colorado, where I was, there would be like a Mexican joint, like that was like family owned, a Taco Bell, and then like a fancy Mexican restaurant, like all like right next to her, like in a triangle radius. like just.
I tell you what's good, man. Like fuck Taco Bell. The place called Taco Cabana is really good. It's like a fast food taco. But it's
there's another taco. What's it called? Taco Del something.
Del Taco.
Oh, Del Taco. Yeah, those are like the 2 big ones, right? Taco Bell and Del Taco.
I love Qdoba more than I like Chipotle, but there's also one called Moe's that I think is my favorite. I don't know if Moe's is as spread out as like a Qdoba or a Chipotle, but they're very, very good.
Yeah, we have Moe's.
Okay, cool.
Very, very good. We had them the other day.
I need fried chicken.
My brother loves like big burritos, like you can get at Qdoba or whatever. He loves to just pick them apart, and he eats like everything in them. He just destroys them. We went. He had some dental work done the other day, and they had to put him under to get it done. Well, he hadn't eaten anything in 12 hours. So I mean, he was still out of it, but he was really hungry. So we went to this Mexican joint, and I got him a big burrito. He got more of it on him than he got in his mouth.
Oh man,
because he was like just kind of out of it, and he wasn't like Finally, I was like, just pick it up with your fingers, just eat it with your hands. So he was just like, I mean? But I felt kind of bad for him. But I mean, he loves burritos and that stuff. So, but he was
Remember the Chili's baby back ribs commercials? That's like when you go to any restaurant to get ribs, and they're like, "Here's like a few," and they're like, "Do you need any more?" And I'm like, "I'd like every napkin you have in this fucking restaurant, thank you."
Steak and Shake is good, Stingray. What I like to get is the burger that's got like the egg on it.
Really?
I forget what it's called, but it's the burger with the egg on it. Very good.
Do you guys do the peanut butter burgers?
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, we have those.
Love them.
They're pretty good. Yeah, around here you get peanut butter burgers at restaurants, and it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't sound good, but it's really it's like savory. It really works well.
Let's try that.
Well, here in America, we have banks, drug pharmacies, and food places to eat. That's basically what the whole country is. So,
We've got several people in the chat talking about how awful the lines are at Chick-fil-A. And that is every time I go to Chick-fil-A, there is insane, regardless of what time it is, there's like cars lined up all around it, people outside taking orders at the, at the cars. Inside, it's just crazy. I mean, I like Chick-fil-A, but it's like all the time. They're packed, constantly packed. And if you tell them it's your first time ever eating at Chick-fil-A, they'll give you a cookie. So it's been my first time eating at Chick-fil-A a million times.
You should have never told me that.
Funny.
Yeah, literally, be like, this is my first time here. I've never eaten it before. Oh, really? Here's a giant, delicious chocolate chip cookie.
All right, so the Sausage Factory, breaking news: we're changing to Sundays now because that's the only day they're closed because of religious reasons. Because everyone will be asking for a cookie any other day of the week.
What you guys got? Chicken?
I want a hamburger
here.
Hey, you guys got that Turk fillet? Where that shit at?
Pizza told me I can get a free cookie.
You don't know who Pizza is? What are you talking about?
They'll sue me. They'll end up suing me. PlayStation Era wants to talk about video games.
Let's do it. Like I said, I finally got Resident Evil 7, and I'm terrified of it.
Which one is 7?
The latest one. It's called Bio. It's the first person one, and it's all down in the place in Louisiana, and it stresses me out to no end.
I started like a playthrough of that game, and I only made it through like the first couple of chapters, and then I just kind of stopped playing it.
Well, I guess it's not as intense after, but like the first like hour or two, it's just nuts.
Man, I made it to where I was like trapped in the basement with all these like blob creatures that kept like getting shit out of the walls, and I was just like, no, it's too much. I can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm barely into it, and I can't handle it.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7.
There's no way I could play this in VR. If I played in VR, I'd die.
That would be fun. I'd like to try that. I think that'd be fun.
Because, I mean, I know all the tricks you can do if you're scared of a video game. Like, one is just play it in broad daylight, and the other is, like, don't, like, stress out, like, when someone's going to kill you. Just run ahead and let it kill you, and that way you can sort of normalize it and get used to it. But that goes against my gamer's instinct. So every night around, like, midnight, I'm firing up this game and playing it in the dark and trying my best to survive. Even though I say, maybe I'll play it in the, the daylight tomorrow. Or be like, no, I can't. It goes against my sensibilities. So anyway, it's just had me on edge for days, but it's also put me into a horror mood, which is it's nice to talk about some of this stuff. Because basically after Halloween this year, I did not touch horror for months and months. I just was not in the mood at all. Not until probably like into April.
Spring is funny because everything's gloomy and you're like, it's so wonderful and peaceful. But then at the same time, I'm like, I just want all the shit to die, so it'll be like September. I want horror films.
We had a cold, crappy April, so I'm glad it's finally something resembling spring out there.
We've not had a spring here in Kentucky. We like literally went from winter straight into summer.
Yep.
Our spring is usually just rain and mud. And that was kind of today. Today was actually a bit colder, and I didn't even go out. It was rainy and foggy, but that's just Halifax. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. Rain and fog is just a constant here. But
whoever brought up the
finally, we're at least in the double-digit temperatures now.
If you like platformers like Super Meat Boy and you have an Xbox One or a PC that isn't like from fucking like 2010, Cuphead is a really, really good game that you should play. Really, really fun. And it's really cheap too. It's a platformer. It's like $15 full price. When it's on sale, it's like $7.50. It's really cheap.
What are you playing on Steam?
That really popular one that people are playing now? I remember you said something. Fortnite. What the fuck is that?
So, take Battle Royale.
Okay.
The movie Battle Royale, that concept, but then put it in video games. And the big ones are, there's DayZ, there's H1Z1, there's PUBG, which is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and then the new one, which is like the new League of Legends, is called Fortnite. Everyone and their mom plays it. I've played it once. I will never play it again. The best Battle Royale game, even though I fucking hate them all, is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Is it like Smash Brothers or something?
It's just there's a bunch of people and you're the last one.
It's Minecraft meets PUBG.
Oh, that's why the crowd likes it, because of the Minecraft shit. I don't care about that. Yeah.
There are some like movies.
Who was it that asked about video games?
PlayStation here.
Was there any upcoming ones they're excited about. Like they keep pushing them back, but I want Kingdom Hearts 3 whenever the hell that happens. In September, they're going to release a Spider-Man game. That looks awesome. I'm going to get that like immediately in September.
As for games that are coming out, well, I'll put expansion and brand new games. Red Dead 2 is the main one that's getting the most hype. The single player is going to be amazing because Rockstar never ever fails since GTA 3. The multiplayer should be good. I might get the next WoW expansion. Depends. WoW is just amazing because it's been a game for 14 fucking years, and it still has it's played by at least 5 million players worldwide. So,
yeah, I just closed my account a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's
sad.
That sucks, but I mean, I don't know. What else? The next Call of Duty looks somewhat decent. I'll probably buy that just because it's really normie and casual now. But I've played Call of Duty since the first two on PC. So, and I think the first one came out in 2003. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but that's just the franchise. Like they'll release like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 20, and I'll be like, okay, here's $60 because I'm stupid. But
I don't know how far off Death Stranding is. A few months ago, like every 5 seconds on my Twitter feed, there was like stuff about Death Stranding. Now that seems to have gone quiet, so I don't know what the hell's going on with it.
I mentioned it in the chat.
I know what I'm getting. That I'm really pumped for. So they have the Mega Man Legacy collections. There's all the games from Nintendo. The first part and the second part of all the games, like up to 9 or 10, I think. The X collection is coming out, which has, I believe, 1 through 3 or 1 through 6, I think. That's coming out in like July or August, and then in the fall, Mega Man 11 is coming out. Is that what it is? Or
no, 11's already out, I think.
Well, whatever the new Mega Man is, that one.
I have the first 2 collections, and I'll get the X collections eventually. X2 is actually my favorite Mega Man game.
But I mean, as much as everyone's waiting on Red Dead, the new Mega Man game is probably what I'm most hyped for this year. And I don't want Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out because I won't speak to Cole for like 2 months. So that's going to suck.
Well, they've only been pushing it back for like 3 years.
No, I'm just kidding. But you're going to like literally be hardcore on that game for like a week. You just feel like, Cole, are you dead?
Yes, I am. I feel bad about what happened to Final Fantasy. They used to be my favorite thing, but they just, I don't know. They gotten too different. They strayed too much. I realize when you're getting into like games past 10, when you're doing 11, 12, you have to do stuff that's different, but it's too different. But I did finally, I bought, I haven't even fired it up yet, but when I got, a little before I got 7, this is a remastering, but this came out in PlayStation 3, I believe, is Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. This is like a remastering for 4, so I'm hoping it'll be something I like, because I heard basically from people I know that's kind of like the last one I would have really liked. And I feel bad because Final Fantasy was like my favorite thing ever, but things change.
Is anybody interested in God of War or Far Cry 5?
Ooh, Far Cry 5, I am. When that drops in price,
I will eventually get to the Far Cry games because I know they're fun.
They are great. I still haven't beat Primal, so I'm a game back. But Far Cry 5 is what I'm looking forward, or it's already out, but I'm looking forward to having the money to buy it.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be doing some sort of live stream with Friday the 13th, the game tomorrow, where they're showing off the new single player stuff. Have you guys heard that's happening?
I saw DJ mentioned it earlier.
I'm still thinking about getting that game if it ever goes on like a decent sale. It's still like $50 for me, which is what I'm not paying.
I saw something posted the other day. I don't remember where it was. There's a on Twitter. Let me look them up. I think they're called Cheap Ass Games. Cheap Ass Games, yeah. Follow them on Twitter because they post whenever like there's big game sales and you can get stuff like super cheap.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they had posted, I think it was through them that I was able to snag an SNES Classic.
Cool.
Let's see. They had posted something about Friday the 13th, the game, the other day, and it was like 25% off, 30% off, something like that. I'm scrolling through here. I don't see it. Here it is, 40% off. Target Cartwheel, 40% off Friday the 13th, the game.
Huh.
Let's see if that's still a thing. I don't know if that's still a thing or not. It says it expires 5/19, so you've still got time to get it 40% off on Xbox.
I just bought several games, but maybe.
Let's look it up here.
Bought Fire Emblem Echoes for my 3DS. I love the Fire Emblem games. They're so fun.
I've been playing through the original Red Dead again lately, or the Red Dead Redemption, I should say.
Yeah, I was playing that back in the fall because that's when I first got it. Finally, like I never played it all those years ago, but yeah, that's fun. So I mean, it'll be good. I mean, I don't know when I'll play the sequel, but I understand the hype for the sequel. The preview looks awesome.
I know that I enjoy shooting my horse way too much.
Yeah, me too. Like I hate the horses in the game so much. I'm always killing my horse because I can't tell you how many times I died because my horse like fucked me over.
The horse is so stupid. It's hard to control too.
Yeah, I mean, I get like it's on purpose that it's kind of hard to control to give you a little realism to it. So, but still, just sometimes I don't know. The horse just wanders off and stuff on I don't know. I'm hoping the horse AI is better. I'm just really hoping for that.
Yeah.
Because I would like conclude almost every mission with like murdering my horse.
Oh God, that game's like it's like 10 years old, right?
Got pretty close, I think. Yeah.
So you can get Friday the 13th the game from Target on Xbox One for $32.99, on PlayStation 4 for $35.49.
Not bad.
Probably find it even cheaper, like on eBay or used or something.
Didn't we only pay 30 when we downloaded it originally?
I think it was 40.
Was it
There's
40?
no physical release of it, is there?
Yeah,
yes,
that's what he's talking about.
There is.
Oh,
now.
there is. Oh, okay.
There is now. Yeah.
There wasn't going to be, but then they made one. Okay, that's right. I remember. But actually, I had a hell of a time finding this. Like everywhere I went, they didn't have it, which baffled me because the game's only a year old. And then somebody at Best Buy, they had 2 boxes of it, and I was like, oh, finally. I brought it up. They're like, we don't have it. And I was like, you have 2 boxes out there. I was like, oh, I don't know. And he said, I think that's like out of print. And I was like, it's Resident Evil. It's like massive. Anyway, looked out anyway.
Dude, the game's like 6 months old, dude. It doesn't exist.
I don't know. The other game I got at Shoppers Drug Mart and got to use my Optimum points. I do very well with my Optimum points. That's how I got my Switch.
It's like Mr. McNugget, our good friend Andrew, was talking about on Twitter the other day that just because a game's new doesn't mean that it's good.
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I think kids need to remember that because, like, you know, I play a lot of, blind buy a lot of new stuff, or I did, and just very disappointed most of the time.
No, I went through like a 7-year period where I didn't play new games at all. After like my apartment was burgled and I lost my PS2 and stuff like that. Like I just didn't buy new games at all. I wasn't reading them on the internet or anything. I mean, I was really happy when I got back into them and stuff. When I got my when I got my PS4, that opened me back up to the world. It was great. I love the PS4. So many great games for it. Ryan made such a massive mistake getting a Wii U instead of the PS4. When I think about the games he missed out on. Like that he didn't get to play any like the Batman Arkham games, which he would have loved. I don't know. I love Nier Automata. I love it so much. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's been one I've been wanting to get.
Oh yeah, you should definitely get it. That's actually a rare game that I did blind buy mostly. In that basically I just bought like this game. It's hard to buy game magazines now, but I have like a specialty magazine store not too far from here. And they had like a big article on it, and everything about it just seemed so nice. And then I went and bought it, and I paid like $60 for it, but like, which is more than I usually pay for a game. Usually I wait for a price to go down, stuff like that. This time I just bought it, and like, it felt completely worth it. Like I was just I was so thrilled with that game. So amazing, so fun, so pretty and stuff. But yeah, I'm just looking over it. Oh, and of course the Metal Gear 5. It's the best Metal Gear.
I mean, you justify the price of a game versus the price of a movie, with how many hours you get out of it. It's really ridiculous, the comparison.
Oh yeah, that's for
like
sure.
the main reason I don't buy one of the main reasons I don't buy movies, besides the obvious, is like even if it's like a movie I want, and it's a price that I can stomach, is that half the time when I actually find it, it's like I know when I take this home, I'm not going to watch it now. Like I want to own the movie, but I'm not actually in the mood to watch it now. So that always makes me think, okay, forget it, and then I don't find it later. I did buy a movie recently too. I bought It. I felt that was worth owning.
I
I kind of stumbled into this. I was AFK for a little while, but I feel bad for like hardcore single player gamers like Cole because like the prices are jacked up in Canada as it is. But even if you're here in America, you're like, yeah, man, I love me some single player games, and you pay like $60 like every week for a game. It's like, okay, so
If you do that, you have some sort of addiction, or you're rich.
no. I mean, just game collectors. They buy like one new game every Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, so that's like 300. Like,
See, I already do that with comics. I can't do that with games. I'll starve to death if I do that with games.
Well, but that's why, like, really good multiplayer games like Overwatch, really good game. You only have to buy it once. There's updates like every other day, and then there's great games like Friday the 13th. Really good game. You play it. There's updates every other year.
Well,
It's
I
our
only
joke.
pay.
It's our joke here.
I only pay once for my games, and I don't pay to play them online. I don't pay for DLC content unless it really drops in price, and I don't, pay a membership or a monthly fee or anything. So yeah, I pay for my games once.
I actually bought a Blu-ray, a DVD the other day. I was wanting to rewatch the Salem's Lot TV.
Oh, I want that. I want that so bad. I was so
And,
mad when that disappeared. I love that movie.
That's the only release of it too, right?
Yeah, it's the only release of it's on DVD. Like I was looking for it on. I was like, okay, let me Amazon Prime, nothing, Netflix, nothing. Like you couldn't even rent it on Amazon Prime. So I was like, well, shit. Let me see. I looked online and I think I snagged that one for it was about $10 with shipping and all. But
I'll have to find it online because I like it. And I mean, I even had foresight on that one because I mean that came out in 2004, and like in 2004, I rented it and I loved it. And then like a year or two later, I was in Sydney, and then I came to Halifax, and I went to that really great rental store that was here until last August. That was so awesome, and I knew they'd have it, and I rented it from them, and I enjoyed it. And I was like, oh, so happy to see this again. And then like when I brought it back to them, I offered to buy it. I said, can I buy it? I'll pay you a stupid price for it. They're like, no, you can't. We make more renting it and stuff like that. And then like a couple years later, I just tried to rent it again. They're like, oh, it's gone. I guess it got lost or broken. I was like, oh, fuck you guys. Like, so mad because I was like, I could have bought it from you, you idiots.
Yeah, for some reason I felt like the other night I was like, man, I really want to watch the Rob Lowe Salem's Lot, and for some ungodly reason, a Return to Salem's Lot.
Yeah, why not?
And what was interesting was, I could rent a Return to Salem's Lot from Amazon Prime for $2.99, but they had no trace of that on Amazon Prime or on Netflix or anything. So I was like, I want to buy the DVD.
You should have just rented Return to Salem's Lot.
No, well, I intend to.
It's that's quality programming.
Because I've not seen that movie in a long time, but I just remember it being completely insane. I felt like watching a really insane movie.
But yeah, people know I'm really picky about vampires. There's only like 4 or 5 vampire movies in existence that like meet my harsh criteria, and that's actually one of them.
I wish I had the perfect opportunity at a convention in Columbus, Ohio. I was checking out at the same time Tara Reid was, and it was just her and I at the front counter checking out. And I should have turned to her and said, "I loved you" in A Return to Salem's Lot. I should have been like, I loved your work in A Return to Salem. She'd probably been like, what? I wasn't in that. Screw you.
One of my greatest moments
maybe it
of
would make
meeting
her
anyone
happy.
famous. One of my greatest moments of briefly meeting anyone famous, even though I didn't actually meet him. There was in Denver. There was a screening of Footloose, right? And Kevin Bacon was there, and they're like, blah blah blah, Footloose, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't really give a shit. So he's walking up the aisle to exit with like his security, and I'm like, Tremors was the fucking bomb. And he turns and he goes. And he waves at me. I was like, yes, that was fucking awesome.
They mentioned Footloose in the Avengers movie.
Did you hear that like the Tremors pilot with Kevin Bacon in it was rejected by the Sci-Fi Channel?
Wow.
They reject stuff?
They rejected the Tremors television pilot with Kevin Bacon in it.
I didn't think they rejected anything.
I'm putting that in my greatest quotes of 2018.
This is the network producing the Sharknado series. And they rejected a new Tremors project with Kevin Bacon in it. My mind is blown. Apparently, the trailer or there's some footage from the pilot online now that you can watch. But yeah,
they've been trying to get Kevin Bacon back in that series for how long now? And fucking Burt Gummer's been towing the line for the past 25 years.
Yeah,
it's time for a Tremors reboot. I'm not a huge fan of reboots, but two things that have gone on too long and need fresh starts are basically Tremors and what's the other one?
Leprechaun.
Hellraiser.
Leprechaun.
Hellraiser. Because fuck every Hellraiser sequel. Seriously, all of them. Every single.
I actually like the last one they did. I thought they're taking they did you see?
Well, maybe I should give that a chance then, because no, I haven't.
You should give Judgment a chance.
I will give it a chance.
You should give Judgment a chance.
But I don't even like Hellraiser 2 very much. Like,
oh, I love Hellraiser 2.
I like Hellraiser 2. I like him.
I mean, it's okay.
I like
and like it's amazing how like for a series that goes 7, 8, whatever, like it gets ridiculous right away. Like part 3 is ridiculous.
I like part 3 though.
I like them all up to part 5.
It's no Bloodline. I think Bloodline is the peak.
I think Bloodlines is the worst I've seen.
Oh,
I know that's Jeremy's.
I like part 7 because the chick's really hot. And it's unedited on El Rey at like 4 a.m.
Nice.
Part 3.
No, seriously, I would be nice to see like Clive Barker come back and really work closely to do like a Hellraiser reboot. I think that would be good, and I think Tremors needs sort of the same thing with Kevin Bacon.
I think that would be amazing. I mean, why can't now that like the Weinstein Company's dead, why can't Jason Blum come along and buy Hellraiser and say, okay, Clive, what have you got for a new Hellraiser?
Yeah, something like with wipes the slate clean. A good budget. We'll actually get a theatrical release. It'd be nice.
Oh, you've reached Clive Barker. I'm not home right now, but
I'm not around the telly.
Clive Barker was actually at like Texas Frightmare over the weekend, so he's doing good. He's good at health is good enough to be at conventions. So
have you met him?
No, I'd like to.
Oh, that's so lucky. He's lucky he hasn't met me. I probably like hump his leg or something. I love him so much.
Have you read the last? Did you read
the Scarlet Versus?
The Scarlet, yeah.
Yes, I did. It wasn't great, but I think the next one will be really good.
You just asked Cole if he hasn't read something. Lol. That's like asking me if
What's
I haven't
funny is I never owned the Books of Blood, and I finally bought one of the volumes of the Books of Blood, and that's what I was just reading the other day. It was the second part that had like the one that Candyman's based on and stuff. Mm-hmm. The Forbidden, that's what it's called.
Forbidden, yeah. Yeah, I thought the Scarlet Gospels was pretty interesting because I mean it was like a crossover between Lord of Illusions and Hellraiser, and
yeah,
a lot of it took place in hell, and you got to meet Lucifer, and it's pretty interesting.
I think I felt a little let down by Hell.
It kind of seemed like
I was hoping for it to be a little weirder. He actually made a point of making hell kind of mundane. Like that was almost the point. Like there was a certain sort of banality to it, and I think what he's trying to say is like, Satan's been gone and the place is sort of like rotting. So I get it, but like it made it kind of boring, but it's still a really good book. And I think the next one will be good because there's some stuff set up there, because obviously that creature that gets born very early in the book, we don't see that thing for the rest of the book. So that's got to come back at some point. If you even remember that. Remember at the very beginning, spoilers, where like Pinhead is just killing all the magicians in like the worst ways possible. Remember he makes the bitch makes the woman. I'm such an asshole. It makes the older woman like who had all the abortions makes her like give birth to some whore. Like,
oh yes, I do remember.
The chapter ends like with that thing like gestating and then growing up and getting older and then running off, and then we don't see it for the rest of the book. So that has to come back in the next book. So I'm interested in that.
I do remember that. That was interesting.
But yeah, that's another thing. It's the main guy, Harry D'Amour. He's been in various stories. I read the first Harry D'Amour story just last night, the first one he shows up in, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I love Clive Barker. He's another one of those people that's just so talented that it makes me sick because he can paint and draw so well too.
Yeah. He can paint. He can draw.
I can paint and draw, Cole.
He's a film director. He's
and
an
I
author.
hate you. Yeah, and it's really too bad. I mean, it's in a way like I'm torn because I like books and stuff more. But speaking as a movie fan, it's almost too bad that he's as dedicated as he is to like that, because if he had more time, I think he could make some really good, interesting films. But he had other pursuits and stuff.
I don't think he has the desire to anymore.
No, I don't think he does. I think he got disillusioned with it very quickly, and and then he'd be like, "Here, you can make some short story of mine into some bullshit, crappy movie. I don't care." Kind of like the Stephen King approach.
Well, it takes him a long time to write too. He takes years for like a big book, like a big novel takes years.
Fair enough.
Cool. You like Clive Barker and Stephen King. Do you like Dean Koontz, his work, or
no?
No. That was quick.
I've read like 2 Dean Koontz books, and they're both.
Okay, I remember I have like a 4th grade reading level, and I remember I picked out a Dean Koontz book at the library, and Cole's like, "Why did you even waste time checking that out?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "Go put that back."
Let me tell you about a little book called Phantoms. Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay, Clive Barker and Stephen King on their best days wish they could have written Phantoms.
It's called Phantoms, but they're like these big weird worm things. I mean, he's just basically doing some sort of like wannabe H.P. Lovecraft ripoff thing, and it doesn't work.
Hey Jay, Phantoms.
Oh shit, Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
I don't disagree with that. Ben Affleck was very good in Phantoms. Ben Affleck's been good here and there in his career.
That's a movie I need to go back and rewatch. Is Phantoms.
It's not gonna hold up, man. I can tell you that right now.
I'm gonna go watch Dreamcatcher again. I'm sure I'll like it more now.
No, that's not gonna hold up either.
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it.
The first 20 minutes of Dreamcatcher, I think, is amazing. But once they leave that little cabin,
the book is basically the same way. Like the first almost like half of the book is really good, and then it just like devolves into crap.
I mean, once the ass alien worm is that, and then it sucks.
Some of the stuff Stephen King has written, like I don't know if it's one, he buys into his own genius. It's just like I can do anything, or 2, he just knows he can get away with anything because he's just like, yeah, shit weasel, still think it's great.
When he writes a shitty book, he just like blames it on OxyContin or something. He's like, it wasn't my fault.
I mean, it's true. Like again, it's not fair. Like he'd be considered like a great author if he'd only written like 3 or 4 of his books. It's not fair. It's like, oh yeah, you like it? Yeah. Do you like The Shining? Yeah. Do you like Carrie? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah.
If he'd only written like 2 or 3 of the.
Do you like The Green Mile? Yeah. Like, oh, guess what? They were all written by the same guy.
You want to know something fucking hilarious? Maine's governor is so fucking stupid. He actually went after Stephen King, who basically funds half of the fucking state with his taxes for the most part.
Their most famous and celebrated resident.
Yeah, and he's like, you didn't pay your taxes to Stephen King, like literally Jesus in Maine, pretty much. And
he keeps Maine on the map. Like at least Stephen King's like one of the few like non-sellouts that isn't like, oh, I think I'll just go live in Beverly Hills.
Yep.
Well, speaking of that, he has a new series coming to Hulu.
Oh boy.
Cole, did
anybody else watch the Mist series? Because I made myself watch it. It's not good, but
I didn't know.
Don't watch it.
Cole, I wanted to ask you if you'd read Doctor Strange, or not Doctor Strange, Doctor
Sleep. Yeah, no, I still haven't read that. No.
That's supposed to be a sequel to The Shining.
That's a sequel to The Shining. Yeah.
I've heard it's pretty good.
I'm surprised they've not jumped on that and thrown it into production.
Good surprise too. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to watch soon because it's available to me. Is the stupid Dark Tower movie? I know I'll hate it.
Yeah.
Please watch it, please.
And I mean, I don't care how it sounds. Like, why is he the gunslinger? Why is Idris Elba the gunslinger? He's a good actor, but a good actor can still be miscast, and that's just messed up. Again, I don't mind when certain people are cast different from the way we imagine them, but I always figure like, and what's funny is again, Stephen King, compared to a lot of authors, very rarely goes into detail about the physical characteristics of his character. He's not one of those writers. The most he usually say is he was of middle age or he was of medium height or something like that. Like he never really gives that much specifics, hardly ever. He actually does fucking give specifics about the gunslinger and basically tells you he's more or less Clint Eastwood. And then they just go ahead and go, yeah, Idris Elba then. The one character where he actually fucking like specifies the way he looks and stuff like that. And it's not always a race thing either, because I mean, let's face it, if I was an actor, could not play certain roles. Plenty of white roles are still would not be right for me, you know? It's I don't know. At what point is it, you know, what's the word? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. At what point is it discrimination? At what point is it common sense? You know, like I can't play James. Let's say I had a great British accent. I still can't play James Bond. I'm like 5'8", you know, and stuff like that. And like, but then like, are people supposed to get upset on my behalf and say, well, why can't he play James Bond? Are you discrimination against people under 6 feet tall? Like, because you know, I don't know. Are you discriminating against people with this color hair, or you know, like where does it end?
What's interesting about the Dark Tower is it feels like there was about.
Now I know y'all been loving this TSF right here. TSF is right here, man.
That's not a Yankees cap though.
Whatever, dude. It's fucking red. I'm on a budget. Give me a fucking break, okay? Holy shit! Shut up. This is Budget Limp Bizkit. Here you go.
What I was gonna say was that
Budget Limp Bizkit. I know Cole's happy.
Motor City, yeah.
That Dark Tower movie felt like they cut out like 30% of it.
And he's not the only one who's miscast. Matthew McConaughey, who I enjoy as an actor.
It seems like they cut out
black.
Yeah, it seems like they cut out. I mean, they cut out. I don't know. At least it feels that way. It feels like they cut out like 30% of.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, or more of just, you know, kind of. I don't know, but yeah, and like McConaughey's a good actor, but like I mean, this is like just sleepwalking for him, being the man.
Even 2 hours long, for Christ's sake.
No, it's like an hour and a half.
Hey, Stephen King, remember like your life's work? You know, that's the 7 books that you wrote, each is like 500 or more. Of course he did. That's what he does, right? Yeah, of course. He thought it was amazing. It's great. Oh, what a great. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Jacob McCullum in the chat says that Dr. Sleep's being made by Mike Flanagan. That's right. I did hear that, as a matter of fact.
There you go.
I totally forgot about that. Totally forgot about
I'm no longer Orc. I'm Budget Limp Bizkit. Listen to my SoundCloud. Thank you.
I like The Shining, the novel. I don't like the movie.
Cole, you know what? I like you. You're a good guy.
I just feel like that movie, like Jack Nicholson just takes it over. It's just the Jack show. And
that's I mean,
there are things I like about it. I really like where it's shot. Like they did a great job of where it's shot. Isn't it weird? I just realized something the other day because I've been on a big Blade Runner kick. Is that the guy that was the ghost bartender that tells him to murder his family is in Blade Runner as like one of the cop guys. That's weird.
I did not know that.
That's like why he got the Blade Runner job. But yeah, I've been reading a big book on Blade Runner, so I'm into that. Because I wanted to, when I was buying it, I really wanted to buy, you know, Blade Runner 2049. But all they seemed to have was like the normal DVD plus Blu-ray, you know, combo. And then they had the one that was like the HD 4K or whatever that I can't use. And it just feels like if I bought the other one, they'd eventually like have a better version. So I just sat on it.
No, the 4K one you can use doesn't include a regular Blu-ray too.
Oh, maybe it does. Yeah. I'll have to look at it again because I mean I'm dying to watch that again, and obviously it's one of my favorite things. Do you
guys still in Canada not have Ultraviolet and Hulu? Are they still not in Canada yet?
I don't know.
Last I heard, they didn't have it.
I don't think so.
Like what boardroom does like Fox go? Well, there's that whole market up north, you know, in Canada, and we could make like millions and millions of dollars. Let's just keep it here in America.
Or until you said Ultraviolet, I forgot that was even a thing that existed for like 4 years. Now I remember that. Yeah, I bought some Blu-ray that had like an Ultraviolet code or something.
Okay, I
haven't. I'll tell you what you do.
And I went on the site and nothing worked. So I guess that's why.
Send me a picture of that code. You send it over my way.
Yep.
Or I would if I could remember what the fuck the movie was. It was
you can send it to someone else who lives in Kentucky by Piz, and he's a big collector and also a douchebag. And yeah, he collects UV codes as well. Not going to say any names.
I've bought more movies on Vudu than I have like physical copies the past year or so.
Yeah, never done that.
I mean. That's how I got Blade Runner 2049 for like, I mean, it was like $25 for the HDX, you know, the, what do you call it? The fucking Super HD.
But I'm going to try to watch the multiple different cuts of, like, I mean, I haven't watched Blade Runner in a while, but now I'm in a mood, of course, to watch the original Blade Runner. But you know, the last few times I watched the final cut, which I think most people agree is the best cut. They fix up some things, and all sorts of stuff, even stuff I didn't know about that I had to find out about later and stuff. But I'm gonna go back and watch the other cuts too, because the first time I ever watched Blade Runner was the theatrical cut, because I rented it on VHS. There was no director's cut available. There was no work print available. The final cut hadn't been made yet. That's 2007 and stuff. And I mean, yeah, but the final cut is the best one because it basically fixes all the story stuff that the director's cut does, and then it fixes a few little minor effect things and stuff. Like there's some times where like the dialogue was changed, and it doesn't match up with what the people are saying because it was overdubbed later. The final cut fixes stuff like that, which I didn't know about until recently and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm in a big Blade Runner mood. So, probably the next time I see Blade Runner 2049, I'll just buy it because I was so happy with that. I can't overstate how pleased I was with that. Like how nervous I was about this movie even existing because it just, you know, I love Blade Runner so much. So the idea of making a sequel all these years later, like I was so nervous, and they pulled it off so well. So happy.
Yeah,
it was a sleeper, man. I had no idea it would be that good.
Loved it.
yeah, I agree. Very, very good. Very, very good.
But yeah, that TV show I was talking about is called Castle Rock, and it's produced by J.J. Abrams, and it's going to be like an anthology based on all of Stephen King's works.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
On Hulu, which, I mean, it looks cool, but, you know, you never know.
What's that Stephen King TV show from a few years ago about like the town?
Under the Dome?
No.
11/22.
Even before that. I think because it wasn't based on a book, it was just like a show.
Tommy Knockers?
No, it's not that old, and that is based on a book.
Didn't it have James Franco and it's like a date or something, right?
11/22/48.
No, it's older than that. Hold on, it's like from like the late 2000s. Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Tommy Knockers.
Tommy Knockers is like.
I'm sorry. The Langoliers.
There you go. That's the best one. That's the best adaptation of his work.
The Langoliers. I just like to say that.
That was like, hey, you guys want to put some of the worst CGI you've ever seen in your life in a movie? let's do it in this movie right here, or this miniseries. God, it's terrible.
Okay, hold on. Where the fuck?
I'm sure like Luis Gonzalez or some shit was in there too, like some like.
Haven. Haven still comes on TV where I live.
Sci-Fi Channel?
I don't know what channel. I think it comes on like Bravo or something. I've never watched an episode of Haven, and as far as I can tell, nobody liked it, and yet it ran for 5 fucking seasons. Like, I didn't know anybody that watched it.
I don't remember it at all.
Nobody liked it or anything like that. The only reason I'd heard about it was because it was a lot of it was shot here in Nova Scotia. It was
the lead actress was pretty attractive. That's all I remember. Filmed
on the South Shore. But yeah, that was sort of a big deal about it, was that it was being filmed here. It was Eric Balfour in it, if that's worth anything to anybody. But part of me just feels like giving it a shot and just watching it all the way through. Because every once in a while, there's just like a random episode of it on TV, and I'm like, holy crap, that's still showing? But it ran from 2010 to 2005, or 15, which is a lot longer than I ever thought. But anyway.
I think I saw the pilot.
Yeah. All I ever heard from people was like, no, it's not any good. And yet it ran for 5 seasons, so somebody was watching it, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know how TV works. I mean, Twitter's blowing up right now that they canceled Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and everybody apparently loves that show, so why is it canceled?
Yeah, you just only watch the pilots, huh? You're not a true fan? Is that what it is?
All I watch, bro.
Pilots? Yeah.
All I watch.
Why don't you become a pilot with your pilot pen in training? How about that?
All right.
Okay, anyways, as fucking his has to derail the show every fucking 2 seconds about fast food. Jesus. Mr. McGriddle over here. What'd you think of Cobra Kai?
What is that?
I've not watched it yet, but I'm really, I definitely want to. I've just not watched it yet.
What is its connection to?
Cobra Kai is, years and years later, basically they've turned the tables. Ralph Macchio's character is like the bad guy, and Billy Zabka is the good guy.
It's not necessarily that exact, but yeah.
So what? It's like a reimagining.
Well, no, like Billy Zabka, like his life has been crap ever since he
Oh,
lost.
okay. So this is actually like a sequel.
And he wants to bring
Not a
Cobra.
reimagining.
He wants to bring Cobra Kai back, but Ralph Macchio's like, "There's no way I'm going to allow you to bring Cobra Kai back."
I don't know why he'd care. For fuck's sake.
See, he's like some kind of fancy used car salesman or something. Now I don't know. I'm just going.
That's what he is.
I'm just going like off of the trailer. Or something.
He's like a douchey car salesman guy. It's really well done though. I mean, really the only complaints I have about it is it's got that really polished look, almost like a soap opera. But that's my only complaint is the way it looks. But
So it's about all those characters and their fucking middle age.
yeah.
No, Cole, what you're saying in the chat, like not enough time, like you're busy with other shit, which I get, but like random people are watching it and they're like it's the funniest, it's the thing I had never asked for. It's like Jay's tweet, look on his Twitter, like I didn't want this and but I end up watching it and then it's like the funniest thing of all time. So
it's really well done.
I definitely want to watch it, and I think they've already agreed to a season 2. So
yeah, they better do a season 2. And I'm gonna be pissed because that.
So it's the same actors.
it's the same. Yes, it's Billy Zabka and Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio didn't have anything better to do.
What?
no,
that's a joke, right?
no. When
I don't know.
when YouTube writes you a 6-figure check, no one, of course, why would you have anything better to do than that? Fuck that.
Oh yeah, that big blockbuster that Ralph Macchio did. That one that came out
That never fucking happened.
I mean, you don't remember My Cousin Vinny like 20 years ago?
You don't remember Karate Kid 3?
Cole, what you just said is what I laugh at when anyone says anything. They're like, "Oh wow, what's the guy Bert from like Tremors?" It's like, "Oh, why did he do Tremors 5?" It's like, "No, why did he do Tremors 6? What else is he doing?" Fuck.
Exactly.
Give me that 6-figure check all day long. Let's go.
I hope YouTube Red does something with Police Academy and brings Gutenberg into it.
Ugh. Every time you bring up Gutenberg, man, it just takes the air out of me.
The Gutenberg.
Yeah, I remember being interested in Haven when they first like pitched it or whatever, because it basically sort of sounded like Stephen King's version of like Twin Peaks or something, because it's about like a small weird town and an FBI agent shows up and finds out stuff. So it all sounded very cool. And then everyone was like, "Oh no, it sucks." And yet that still comes on TV where I live.
The best thing, like especially about movies, and I haven't even seen, not even half, a quarter of them. I'll say like admittingly, is like all the big '90s action stars like Nicolas Cage and like fucking Mel Gibson and shit. All the amount of direct-to-video shit they're putting out, and I don't know, some of it sounds good, some of it sounds bad. I've maybe seen like 15% of those. They just keep cranking out movies. They're like, someone's like, "Did you see fucking Mel Gibson's new film?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't even know it was out. What are you talking about?"
Well, they both had to, because Nicolas Cage, while he was the brief time he was A-list, acted like he was a billionaire when he was only a millionaire. So he just has to keep working constantly to pay off all his debts. And Mel Gibson just tanked his own fucking career. So,
but even bigger guys like who have never really gone under the radar, like Bruce Willis, like he'll crank out a movie. It'll be in the theaters on Thursday night, Friday, during the day. And then that Tuesday, it'll be like Die Hard in Africa, Part 29.
Bruce Willis is also
Die Hardest.
I have no idea why Bruce Willis is in so many movies. Doesn't make sense to me.
It's just money.
But he has that's what I mean. He has the money, though. He doesn't need the money.
You never know. You never know that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying he may be in debt or something.
Or, yeah, that's true. Just because you think they have a lot of money, maybe they don't. Yeah. I don't know.
Child support or whatever.
Well, guys, why don't we go ahead and call it a night? We've been going for like 2.5 hours. It's been a fun return. We've covered a lot of bases, talked about a lot of stuff. Orc, why don't you take us off the air with a Orc's Dank Meme of the Week?
You know I be loving this shit right here.
Hell, I am Biscuit is right here. Wait, hang on. We got to do a creed before we go into Orc's corner of dankness and isolation and constipation. Anyway, here we go. Maybe 6 feet, it's so far down. Cole, hold me now. Okay,
Do I know that one? I don't know if I know that one. Or you just go off key that I can't recognize it.
Oh,
no, I'm on key. I'm always on key. Anyways, all right, guys, real talk. As I look into my sexy webcam that has shit audio recording. Hey, guys, And
Hello,
Orcs
government.
Corner this week. Life sucks donkey dicks, and just gotta keep hanging in there, keep chugging on through. It's terrible. Hashtag blessed. Oh wait, just kidding. But
You say
Just-
08?
what?
Nothing.
Como? See, we're bilingual here. Cole, you don't
Como
understand.
está?
Yeah. We speak real languages like American and Spanish, not fucking French or whatever the fuck you guys. Why don't you go eat some cheese?
Espanol? Come on
Hey,
now.
hey, Cole, can you get
I'm
me a
in
baguette while you're up there? Okay.
We,
Oh,
speak,
that's
we
good.
speak American on this show, boy.
God damn it,
That's
American.
not true. All my words have silent U's in them.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
censor me.
I don't
Boy.
know. Just keep memeing. That's Oric's recommendation. I could say something funny and bomb the whole show with epic awkward silence, but just keep chugging along, because Jesus loves you, and amen. Can I get an amen, Jay? Right? Look, I'm doing the amen.
Amen.
Amen. There we go.
Amen.
There we go.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, that does it. That did it. You said it all there, Orc. You said it
Yep.
all. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks for had a very lively chat tonight. We appreciate it. Let me give a couple of shout outs to people who are still with us tonight. Our buddy Jerpin, Rhonda Toy, Hildriet Revez, Jacob McCullum, Jamie. See who else is still with us tonight. Big Ideas 3. But PlayStation here. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys. We appreciate it. We will see you guys probably next week.
Ooh.
Well, we'll see. We've had a kind of a infrequent schedule here, guys. But we'll if you're not following us on social media, follow the Sausage Factory on social media, and we'll definitely keep you guys abreast of everything that's happening in Sausage Factory Nation. So
You're gonna give everyone a chicken breast? What'd you just say?
sure.
Oh, God, I want chicken.
Oh.
Still wants
All
the
right,
fried
guys.
chicken.
All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you again soon. Take care and peace.
I want some grits. Whatever that is. What's grits?